evening, guys.
Good evening, mate. How we doing?
How's it going?
How are you?
Not bad, not bad. Welcome, people. Welcome. Thanks for joining us tonight. I see there's 26 in the house already, so that's fantastic. Just getting off. And yeah, looking forward to this stream. Obviously, you all know Paul can't make it today. It's his anniversary, so he's away for the weekend. So wishing you, hope you have a great time, Paul, wherever you are. But yeah, first things first, massive shout out to Ross and apologies that I couldn't make it last week. I had something that came up, so couldn't be missed. But I believe, and I have actually watched it. That Ross did a fantastic job. So massive shout out to Ross for covering my ass. I appreciate it. You know, I mean,
not a problem at all, mate. It was a pleasure. You have to do the right thing, mate. So we soldiered on without you, but we missed you, mate. We definitely missed you.
No, I missed you, mate, and the chat missed you even more. They were like, "Where is he? Where's Smogsy gone?" Like,
I didn't know it was that popular, mate. I'm feeling the love. I was feeling the love, mate. I was feeling the love. That's for sure.
It's not you. I think it was the ironing board. I think that's what it. That's what they were missing, mate. They were missing the ironing board. That's what it was. Yeah, it's good to have you back anyway. And family's got to come first, hasn't it?
That's it, mate. That's it.
And happy anniversary to Paul and his wife. I hope he hasn't got the phone on whilst they're at dinner, listening into our reefing chat tonight. Otherwise, the wedding will be the anniversary will be called off, won't it? If he's listening to this.
I have a funny feeling he'll drop in at some point. I don't quite know when, but I think he will.
Yeah, possibly.
He'll be worried that we're just going rogue on him and just turn it into carnage again.
Oh, there's loads of people. Good evening, everybody. Anyway, there's loads of people in the chat already, isn't there?
Yeah, I can see there's 35 joined.
Black Pearl Reef's on form as usual there, Steve.
Pardon, mate?
Yeah, it's what...
Black Pearl Reef's on form as usual tonight.
Oh, mate, straight away, I've seen him. He was really eager off Black Pearl Reef. Yeah, he's 7:55. He put that comment, so he's definitely on the ball tonight. That's for sure. Like I said, first. Let's delve straight into it and let's see what's been happening on our reef this week. So. First things first, I'll go with you, Ross, for the change. See how things going with you, mate. And how's the crab doing? Is it still survived? And how's the anemone? Is that still being a pain in the bum, so to speak?
Big news on that front, I suppose. I don't know if you'll quite see it there, but both the clowns are in the main tank just now. And touch wood, that clown has survived and is actually pretty much healed now.
Wow.
It's got a little, one of its fins, wee fin here is like a wee Nemo fin, so it's got a tiny wee like small fin and then a bigger fin. So, but yeah, touch wood, it seems to be okay and has survived. All the marks on its face and its back and everything have cleared up. It's just the fin that's actually damaged now. So
I tell you what, that fish has gone through summer. I tell you, I can see that fish living till it's about 100 or something because it's just survived everything, hasn't it? You know what I mean?
Well, that's twice now that it's had. I mean, the first one it had with its stomach was quite a traumatic experience for it, but that one was that was a bad one the other week. So yeah,
it looked like a burn. It looked like a burn to its fins, didn't it? Couldn't move.
I mean, that's kind of what
it did.
Well, it didn't feed for the first kind of 2-3 days because its mouth was actually stuck open. So it was like when it got stung, you know, the swelling and everything just caused its mouth to stay open. So that was the point where I thought, no, it's gone. It's not going to make it here. But then it started eating again, and touch wood, it seems to be doing okay just now. On to the crab / tube anemone.
Who's beeping? I thought it was my temperature thing. Is someone's temperature? Is that yours, Ross?
It's
Are you overheating there, mate?
No, I'm actually a bit too cold.
He's boiling his tank.
Jesus, like a kettle in the background there.
No, what happened with that, mate, is I was in the tank earlier mucking about with stuff and switched the heater off and forgot to switch it back on again. So I switched it back on again there before the stream and it's a bit low. So
yeah, that's a D&D alarm. I just checked mine because I could hear it and I'm like, what is that? It must be turning it into a hot tub, innit, for the good weather. That's what it's doing. The clowns, there's plenty of bubbles in there. I can see them already.
So yeah.
What temperature range do you have on your D&D then? How do you have that programmed?
So mine's at 25.6 with a plus or minus of 3 on it.
Yeah.
0.3, sorry.
Yeah. That's what I do in mine.
It's just sitting just now at 25.2, so that's why it's not liking it. It's just flicking in and out.
Your fans kick in at about 25.9 or 26.
Yeah. Shut up,
what do you have yours set on? You know, your thermostat. Do you have it as a +3 or +4? What do you have it at?
Yeah.
Yeah, so mine's just plus or minus 0.3.
0.3, yeah.
But it's just clicking in and out to that just now, which is why it keeps beeping, which is doing my nothing, but never mind.
Yeah, what is it beeping, Ross? What's it doing now?
That's it, because it's just right on the limit, mate, so it's just flicking in and out all the time.
Going on and off. Yeah. Is it warm up there? Is it warm up there today, Ross? Is that what it is?
Nah, it's not too warm up here, mate. I mean, we've probably got a solid 6 or 7 degrees, I would say, so it's roasting today.
It's got a t-shirt on, it must be 10 degrees.
No, it was actually quite warm this week, to be fair.
Let's not hope that's the case, Paul. Tank crash live. Ross is going in.
We definitely don't want that.
Oh no, we don't want that. That's no good.
No, that's for sure.
Yeah, so that was the clown update, really. If we go to the crab and tubing enemy, so the tubing enemy is now dead.
You're joking?
Dead.
What, is that a deliberate act of, or is it just died in there?
That was the crab, mate.
The crab's eating it?
Yep.
The crab's eating it?
Yeah.
No way.
How's it not burnt to a cinder?
Well, it's not. Well, there's a little black tube of it left, basically, and the crab was having a feast. So,
what?
Yeah.
Wow.
Crabs,
you know what? It's crazy. It's crazy how it can sting fish and enough to death and do crazy, stupid things and grow to twice the size of what it is in the evening. And a little tiny miniature crab, no more than maybe an inch long, can kill it. It's crazy, isn't it? They're ruthless, those crabs. You know, they can eat anything. They go through anything, don't they? This
crab's ruthless anyway, mate. I would say it's definitely not a lot to mess with.
Did you get it from Chernobyl Aquatics or something? What's going on here?
Well, I think a mistake. Reef roids for actual roids. I think that was the problem.
Chernobyl Aquatics.
How is it not dead?
Hey, that's another T-shirt to be made, mate. Chernobyl, the Chernobyl crab or something like that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Wait,
mate.
how's it not died out of neglect and eating a tube anemone?
I've no idea. And complete hands up on this one. I haven't topped up the water in that little tank there this week, so the salinity has actually rose up. Now that's completely my fault, and I only thought about that this week because there's no APO in that little tank. So the salinity's gone up, but the crab's still bombing about quite the thing, ready to kill anything that goes in there. So it just obviously doesn't care.
Wow, it's crazy, isn't it? It is. It's mad.
Amazing how it can survive all that hardship. I mean, you really put it to the test, to be fair.
And get to say, the cleanup crew and all that, they're prone to different, temperatures, salinity and stuff like that. You know what I mean? They're more susceptible to they'll just be killed off. You know what I mean? Your crab is just a prime example that just doesn't go with certain crabs, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Well, I think any other cleanup crew item or any other fish or invert or anything, but that crab just seems to be the devil in crab form. It's got issues.
It's definitely not reef safe, whatever that means.
No, it's not safe for anything, mate. It's no hand safe, reef safe, fish safe, it's nothing.
I
don't quite know who would win.
You've done your best with it to kill it, and it's still here.
I wouldn't say I've tried to kill it. I've just separated it and neglected it this week. So, this week I actually just didn't top up the water. Now, don't get me wrong, the water's only dropped now by a couple of mil in that tank.
I don't want it. I do not want that crab. No way. All UK reef, that's a terrible idea. I don't want the nem, nor do I want the crab. Not a chance.
I should maybe rent the crab out to folk who have problems and just, on a weekly basis, you can hire the crab.
Is it like flatworm and Aptasia and stuff like that? You could actually rent it
anything, mate. Anything.
So, the question, is it actually going back in the tank anytime soon? Because that's what all the viewers want.
So, I'll be totally honest with you, I was going to put it back in the tank this week, and my only concern is that I don't want it killing my conch. Because that's the only thing in the tank that's got a bigger shell in it. So, I don't want it killing the conch detector. Now, I've put loads of shells in that tank to see if it'll change it, and it hasn't changed shells. So, I don't know if I'm okay to put it back in or not, but that's my worry, is that it kills the conch, because obviously the conch is the thing that I really like in that tank, and it works really well. So I don't really want to risk losing my conch.
Yeah. I mean, you can't just get another shell to put in there that it'll host. No.
Well,
I don't know really.
There's a lot of shells in there, and it hasn't switched shells yet. So.
Right. Okay.
I don't.
Yeah, like Reef King said, take it back to shop, mate. To let somebody else have it. Let someone else who.
I could take it back to the shop, but I don't know if I could speak for feeling guilty that I had ruined somebody else's life.
Valid point there, mate. Valid point there. Yeah. I have to agree with you. I won't. You'd have to keep it now, mate. You bought it. You've got to keep it. Cottage Reef just put down. He wouldn't sleep with it in the house.
Well, I'm just going to throw it there and say I've probably slept with worse in the house. So.
Oh God. You know what? Funny. Like, I mean, it's not talking about crap, but I watched the program the other day. I was just like scrolling on the TV, and it showed you it was about aquamarines and stuff like that. Yeah, and it's showing you about this guy who was talking about octopuses, and he wanted to have an octopus. Yeah, and and some like guy who obviously knew about octopuses. He says, "Oh, so have you already got tanks and all that?" He says, "Yeah, I've got marine tanks and stuff like that." So he's showing you like his tanks, and he was big, like 1,000 liters, 2,000 liter tanks and stuff. Yeah, and he had a few of them around, and he said, "You don't want to get an octopus tank, just a pure octopus tank, because you can get them, and there's loads of different ones." And he said, the tiniest hole, so the size of the beak of an octopus, yeah, it will squeeze through that. And he says what it'll do is it'll be able to get out of its tank, go into your fish tank, eat all your fish, climb back out, and then get back into his own tank, and you wouldn't even know he's gone in it. You know what I mean? I was like, well, that's put me off octopuses for the rest of my life, mate. I'm never going to get one of them.
Even with a D&D lid, it'll get that off with it.
No, yeah.
I mean, they're quality lids, mate. They are really good lids.
Just don't get steam.
You might bite through the netting and then climb out, mate. I wouldn't risk it. I'd put that solid top on what you got. Where did you get that one from, Jay? Remember it?
Oh, that was clear view lids.
Do you know what I did?
Clear view lids.
Supposedly,
I couldn't believe it. Yeah, you know, like I didn't.
Sorry, see all the aquariums, like the big aquariums, public aquariums, and so on. Supposedly with them, what they do is they line the top of the tanks round the outside with astroturf. And octopus don't like the feeling of the astroturf when they put their tentacles out or whatever it is, so they don't climb up on that. Whether that's true or a old wife's tale or something, I don't know, but that's what I'd heard.
Oh, right.
It's not real.
You know what, mate?
Yeah. I have never seen a tank with astroturf on it.
Yeah, you won't, because it's above the water.
I have never seen that.
But that's
because when you think about it, it's going to be like spiky, in it, and it's going to be probably maybe a bit. Yeah,
I don't know if it's true or not. But...
Yeah, I was cuddling up on the. I was cuddling up with the ironing board, mate. You're damn right, I was tired that night. That's pure.
Talking of octopus, if you haven't seen it, Octopus Teacher on Netflix.
That's good,
yeah, really good, mate. If you're into marine, really good. Honestly, I think it's in the top 10. I think it's on the top 10. My Octopus Teacher.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's a guy who's like battling depression.
Yeah.
And he goes to the sea every day, same place, and he becomes friends with this octopus. Mate, honestly, it's ace.
It sounds
weird.
Yeah, it's like a documentary type thing.
It's like a film documentary. It's really
never
good.
Even heard it.
And then he learns from the octopus. I don't want to spoil it for you, but definitely watch it. My Octopus Teacher. It's about an hour and a half on Netflix.
You know what? I'll look into that, definitely. I'll have a look at that. And I'll let you know next week what for of it. That's for sure.
Same as that one that AM Corals told us to watch. That was good.
So I haven't watched that yet, mate. I started watching it. I haven't watched the full thing yet.
What was it called again?
Ross Reef King's put, how did your Zoa water dip go, mate?
Long and short, not good. Now, I don't know what caused it, but I'd done exactly what Reef King said, and they melted, so I'm not sure what happened with that. Yeah, they're gone altogether.
Wow.
Haven't got a clue what happened. I mean, they were the ones that were covered in the dots and that anyway, so, you know, it might just be a coincidence, but after I'd done the freshwater dip, following day, they were almost kind of half the size, if not smaller, and then the next day they were gone. So I don't quite know what happened there, but they did disappeared. So
you know
it was one of those things that was.
They're strange though, aren't they? You know, like some of them they can be thriving in your tank. You can have, because I had pink zippers. I've still got them, yeah. But there was over where the Euphilia garden is in my tank, in my main display, and they were over there, and they was covered in, and there was hundreds. When I say it was hundreds of them, yeah. And then all of a sudden, when the Pulcinzini started to grow, I don't know whether it irritated them or what, but those hundreds whittled all the way down to maybe like 10, 15. They just like literally all melted within a couple of weeks. They were all gone. I was like, what in the hell? You know, like with them. And yet previous to that, they were just thriving. They were growing more and more babies, more and more heads all the time. And now, if I've got some in my little nano tank here, and I've only got maybe about 30 left in my main display, and they don't seem to grow now. They seem to have just stopped growing. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy, mate. It's strange. All started from a couple, 5 of them, I think it was. That was it. But they don't seem to grow now for some reason. I mean, very strange.
For the money, Zoas are such good value, aren't they? The coloration and stuff like that, they look absolutely stunning when you get a little patch of them. I know Ross is kind of growing out like a little peninsula with lots of different varieties. But same as I had one set, I put them with all the others, and this one like colony just didn't open, never opened. And it's just so weird how they're in the same environment, same water, almost exactly the same spot in the tank, and just wouldn't open. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there, but Zoas are a really great coral, especially for beginners generally as well. They're just,
I think they're really underrated.
Yeah, they are underrated. Yeah.
Yeah. This Errol Sullivan's put down. He saw a documentary with a guy who had an octopus. He couldn't work out why the kid's goldfish kept disappearing. Turned out his octopus would escape, eat them, and then go back to his own tank. Wow. So it's true. It's true, mate. But a goldfish going into a goldfish bowl, that's not going to be the salt water, is it?
Oh my God, the kids must
be able to adapt to salt water then. They must be able to adapt to like normal fresh water as well as salt water then. That's
Did
crazy,
you see that Secret Reef put up the thing about the grass as well? So that must be a true...
Yeah.
I definitely heard it somewhere. I think it was a documentary I watched that said about that. So.
Oh, this channel's like a documentary channel.
Yeah.
I never knew that about the grass. Never knew that.
No, I never. I just don't know whether it would look right on the edge of a. I don't know. I've never seen one, so I couldn't even. I wouldn't like to say.
I think it's more like
you know what?
It's more like a public marine aquarium where, like, the tanks in a display, and then the kind of industrial side above that, they just put it round the outside there, so no one's ever going to feed in that. Obviously, I wouldn't want to line the top of my tank with grass in the house. I think that'd look a bit crap.
My next octopus tank's definitely having grass on it.
Do you know what I really fancy? I quite fancy getting a jellyfish tank. That's one of the things I would love.
Oh, you know what? Yeah.
I've seen kind of big circular tanks that just...
Yeah, they just swirl around, don't they? Yeah. The only thing that put me off with them was like the maintenance, because I believe they're very messy, jellyfish, and they've got to feed them quite often. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And the detritus and all the uneaten food sits on the bottom, because it's like a circle, yeah. And it sits, and you're forever like cleaning it out. And if you accidentally hit them by any chance, do you know what I mean? They just basically die. So that's the only thing that put me off. But I did see one, they were going for like £500, and I went, I think that would look really nice. But it just put me off. I thought, you know what, it's just not worth it. You know what I mean?
Someone in the chat's put about Mark. Is it Mark Aquatics? Which is the guy. Have you seen this channel?
That's the guy that's got the kind of British coastal tank or something.
No, he's got. How cool is that? I've never. Oops. Oh no, I've just switched my phone off. There you go. So this guy here, Mark Aquatics.
Oh
yeah, I've seen that.
Someone recommended it to me to go and start following him. He set up his own tank, basically, as he's collecting stuff from the Welsh coast.
Yeah.
Like sea life, crustaceans, crabs, the plants. And mate, he's got a little snippet of the Welsh biodiversity in his aquarium. How nuts is that?
Wow. You know what?
His own little isolation like that. Yeah.
You see,
I haven't done it yet.
I'd collect it from the Welsh side of it, yeah, but I wouldn't like to go to Blackpool and start collecting things from that side. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You'd have to
I
chuck a
don't think
bottle
that
in
would-
and stuff, otherwise
Yeah,
they'd be
that,
like,
that
where's
won't
all
work
the...
well, that.
You could have the lesser spotted jobby fish in your tank, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so okay, I just when you said about a jellyfish, were you thinking about what off the Scottish coast or something, like native?
No, just
jellyfish?
actually. I mean, I've never looked into it, but when you see the tanks that's for sale, the jellyfish tanks look incredible, and I just think it would be so cool to have one.
Yeah, good.
I don't quite know what kind it would be or anything like that. I've never looked at it properly, but I just think they look really cool.
Yeah, they do look cool. One of the first life forms, aren't the jellyfish? So they are really cool.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
It's an educational channel. This is, I tell you.
I know. You should take a job in teaching, Jay.
No,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get out of that one. No, I'm only joking. No, it's I love it, especially the holidays. It's really good.
Julie's put what we all drinking tonight.
Oh, what should I have here then? Yeah, I'll go with the regular.
Oh, the old John Smith.
The John Smith. Yeah, I know it's a poor beer. Loads of people criticise it, but you know what? Yorkshiremen, I quite like it.
I've got an empty glass.
I'm going with the old Iron Brew for now.
Wow.
For now. Yes, but I have got my Strongbow on tap here, so let's put him here.
You've got Scottish blood in you there or something? The Iron Brew.
Still got my Strongbow here, so these are the
It looks a bit pink, that Steve, is it not?
Rosé one.
It looks a bit pink.
The rosé side of this one, mate. Yeah.
I've never tried it.
Really nice. Really nice. You
Do
know, like the normal cider. It gives me heartburn sometimes. I don't know why. It just gives me heartburn. I don't know if it's because it's so sweet. And yet, when I drink that one, no problem whatsoever, mate. It's perfect. So I tend to just stay with that if I'm drinking cider.
What's Julie drinking anyway?
Yeah, what are you drinking, Julie? Yeah, Collins put Vinto Julie. Vinto Julie. Yeah, right. Vinto Julie.
Wow. That was a good choice, actually. I had that for ages.
I know. I like that.
You know what? I love Vinto. Hot Vinto. You make hot Vinto. Absolutely love a hot Vinto. Kids love it as well. Hey?
Never had it hot.
Steve, I don't know if I ever asked you what you thought of your hot toddy that I said to you to have mine.
Love the hot toddies, mate. Love the hot toddies.
That was sorted out, that one.
It did, mate. Yeah, definitely did. That's for sure. I'm just looking down. Colette's. Let's see what Colette's drinking.
No, Ross is just having an empty glass. Yeah, are you taking it steady today, Ross?
Yeah, I just actually overlooked the thought of grabbing something off the shelf, so I'll meet you see what I fancy. Do not know.
Colette's on strawberry daiquiri. She's on paracetamol.
Paracetamol? Oh my god. Strawberry daiquiri is good, but not the paracetamol bit. Is that to stop the hangover? You just have it earlier? I don't know.
Yeah. Probably.
Maybe it preempts the hangover.
My dad, he always swears, He always swears, no matter if he goes on a big set. I'm not a massive drinker, but my dad likes a beer. And he's always swears, he says, once he's been on a big heavy session, he goes in and he drinks literally a litre of water before he goes to bed. And he never wakes up with a hangover, ever. No matter how long he's been on the beer, he drinks a litre of water, 2 and a bit pints, 2 and a whatever, half pints, whatever it is. And just water, and he never wakes up with a hangover. You know what I mean?
At the end of the night, that is?
No, in the morning, the following day, yeah. At the end of the night, he drinks. At the end of the night, before he goes to bed, he'll drink a litre of water, and then he won't wake up with a headache in the morning. Never wakes up with them.
It's all right. So same with the fry-up, mate. Have a fry-up.
I think I would struggle to remember to drink a litre of water if I was drunk at night time.
Yeah. Just looking down to see if we've got any comments.
So I've added back up the poster for the crab folks, so he's not as lonely now. I just remembered that there just now.
What's everybody else drinking? I hope all these people are sat in the garden having a nice gin or something. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous outside. I'd be outside. If I wasn't on this live stream, I'd be outside just in the garden.
Why did we not choose to do ponds or something so we could sit outside and do it?
Pond? Yeah, well, I haven't got a pond, but yeah.
No,
You
never.
got a pond?
Nah.
I'd love a pond. I'd
love one too, but I've got 2 dogs that will not stay out of water, so a pond in the back garden would not be a great idea.
Yeah. No, that won't be a good idea, Ross. That's for sure.
No.
So, Bearded Reef, is that Geordie whiskey? Galgo's put.
I have got Jura on the shelf, but this is Lagavulin. This one. Where are we?
Go on. How many whiskies have you got in now?
No, he's got loads.
Oh,
Yeah.
I must have.
Did you hear that? I've got it on the shelf. What the hell?
I must have about probably. How many bottles will I have there? I don't know. 60, 70 different bottles. I don't know.
The thing is, with your job, I bet they give you them, don't they, when you work with the company?
Yeah, they do. So when you go to a distillery and you're working with the guys now, you've got these old school guys from the Highlands and Islands that have only ever worked in the distilleries, and they're proper, like really, really countryside guys. So you go in and you blare away to them. They say, "Oh, have you tried our whiskey, son?" I say, "No, I've not." "Oh, give me 2 seconds," and they come back. "There's a bottle for you. You take that one." And then once you finish the job, the folk will maybe sometimes say, "Oh, there's a bottle for doing the job for us. Thanks very much." Or they'll say, "Oh, if you come in the shop, you can get our staff discount," and so on. So some of the bottles I get are like expensive bottles for half price and so on, and you get free bottles and everything as well. So the bottles that I've got up there, I mean, there's a lot of nice ones, but the majority of them are ones that have been given or had heavily discounted for distilleries. So yeah, it's perks of the job, I suppose, mate.
Well,
what's the most expensive whiskey you've ever got, Ross? Off anyone? Well, what's the most expensive whiskey you've ever drank?
Oh, that's a tough one, mate. I don't know what would be the most expensive.
I know that my dad. My dad went to Scotland. He went to Edinburgh, my dad, and he went in a few bars. I've never been to Scotland. It's always a place I've wanted to go, but I've just never had the chance or never bothered going up there, to be truthful.
Mm-hmm.
But my dad went up with my mum for the weekend before all of this COVID business and stuff, and he went into a few bars, and then he went into this so-called bar, and it was just like specific, like with whiskies and stuff, like a whiskey bar type thing. And he was looking and having a thing, and he said, "Oh," and he was chatting to the barman, and he said, "How much is like those whiskies there?" And one of the whiskies, was something like £275 for a shot, for a shot of whiskey. And my dad couldn't believe it. My dad thought that was for the bottle, and he went, "Oh no, that's just for a shot." And he was like, 275 quid. And he said, "This is not it. This is nowhere near it." He said, "Some of them can go stupid, like going to the thousands for a shot of whiskey." It's crazy, mate. You know what I mean? I couldn't believe it. I mean, how much is a full bottle?
Well, I don't know, but there was a distillery near where I live that shut down probably, I don't know, 30 years ago, I think, maybe more than that. So it's called a ghost distillery. It doesn't exist, but you can still buy the whiskey. And we were away up north at this tiny little, quite a nice hotel, but it was in the middle of nowhere. And they claimed to have the best whiskey collection. So I thought, right, I'm going to have a look at this. And there's a whiskey called Rosebank as the distillery. So the guy was asking where I was from, and I said, "I'm from Falkirk." And he says, "Oh, we've got some Rosebank here. Do you want to try some?" And I was like, honestly, I would love to, because I've never ever tried it at all. So he hands me the list. And I'm sure the cheapest one on the list was something like, it was like you say, Steve, it was £280 or £300 for a nip. And I thought, yeah, as much as I'd like to try that, that's a no for me, thanks. But
it's insane, isn't it? It's absolutely insane. You know what I mean?
So, I've nothing that much value-wise. I mean, I've got bottles that are worth like £200-300 each and so on, but nothing that's mega money. Yeah.
Wow.
They're just slightly cheaper than a reef tank, aren't they, basically? That's the thing.
Yeah, well, it's one of those that if something happens to me, then the whiskey's probably the first thing you would take out of this house, I would say.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, so Blackpool's put, come on guys, let Jay get into his kid candy store mold and tell us about his new corals and how he loves watching them in bed every night.
I've got a YouTube video out. I've got some new corals. I've got 4 new corals. Yeah, I'm chuffed next to them. Yeah, gone all out, mate. Man.
I haven't watched the video yet, Jay.
You haven't seen it?
Nope.
No.
Oh, mate, I've got some new. So now my tank's started to stabilise a little bit. I've got my nutrients back up. So obviously 3 weeks ago, my nutrients stripped just because I was doing it, like over maintaining it. I was cleaning the hell out of the tank, clean the glass, clean the back wall, clean the filters, clean the filter floss. And it was just and the power heads, and the tank was just too clean. But stripped out the nutrients, and then obviously I had that near crash with my nutrients. Managed to recover it. and now my nitrate's at 4.53 ppm, and my phosphate's at 0.07 ppm.
Nice.
So yeah, plenty of food back in the tank, and I thought, right, it's now time to add to the collection. So I've been buying a few bits, haven't I? Technically, I've got how many? I've got 1, 2. I've got 5. I'm not very good at maths. I've got 5 new corals, and I've only paid for 3 of them. That's pretty good, isn't it? I know, it's good, isn't it? That.
Hey,
So, let me show you them. Yeah, let me show you them.
Where did you get them from? Not YorkshireCorals.com.
I've managed to find a good deal.
Jake,
how's
your SPS done? How's your SPS doing?
Right, so them first 3 that I had from Prestige Reef.
Yeah, I know them. Yeah.
Yeah, the Digi in the middle are doing all right, and they're nice colours.
Right.
Got some polyps on them and stuff like that. But that that Aquapora tenuis, the rainbow one on the website, it was like, oh, it looks amazing. Mine's still a brown stick still. I mean, I don't know how long I've had it about 9 weeks, 10 weeks. Something like that. It's just a brown stick. I mean, to be fair to it, there's a nice bit of shape on it, but there's no colour. There's no colour on it. And it's right under. I don't know if it's getting too much light. The one thing I need to do, because obviously these radiant lights are quite powerful, aren't they? And it's about here. It's like nearest the top. So I don't know if I'm.
How high is your light off the top of the water? Is it about 10 inches? Or what is it? Have you ever measured it?
Do you want me to measure it now?
No, I said, have you ever measured it? Have you ever measured it?
About 8 inch, I think.
So probably that then, Jay, is it?
8 inches is quite...
8 inches is about that.
Aye, that's what I'm saying. It's got to be about that.
8 inches is quite low, over the water. Right? I mean, my lights are, 13 inches above the top of the water, mine. My lights are 13 inches from the top. And they're getting, and then when I measure them on the spectrum on my Senai that I measured, now, obviously because when I'm running, because I've got the other light added to it, I told you before, on the where the SPS are growing, you're looking at about 560 par there, 570 par on the top, where the SPS are. So it's pretty good. And then on the bottom,
they like it, that number, 560. That's
mate, they absolutely grow like weeds. Those two, that Senatopia and the Stylopora, mate, I'm forever cutting it. I've got loads in my flag tank here. If any of yous are near me, live near me, please come and pick them. You can have them, drag them out. I don't want. I'm actually cutting them and throwing them, mate. That's how bad it's growing. Wow. It just grows like weeds. That for some reason, I only wish my other SPS would grow as fast, but that's just not the case. You know what I mean?
I can't wait to get to the stage where I have to prune my SPS because it's growing so much.
I'm not lying, mate. It gets to the point where you go, I was doing it dead nice and neat, with some snips, yeah. Now I'm just putting my hand in and breaking them off with my hand now because I'm just like, I've just come to the point where I just don't want to do that. You know what I mean? So
with the snips, do you have to have special marine? Because obviously they're metal, aren't they, and stuff like that.
No, yeah.
You just put metal snips in your tank.
Just rinse them under. I've just bought a pair of cheap, freaking $1.99 pair from the local store,
and I just Chinese rusties. There, you don't want that.
Yeah, that's what we make. Snip them in, and then rinse them under the water, normal tap water. Just rinse them under there, and then just dry them off with a towel. And they're not rusted yet. You know what I mean? Not bad for $1.99.
No, it does.
It's good to
get some stainless steel ones. You should be fine, should you not?
Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
Stainless steel ones should be fine, are they not?
Stainless steel should be, yeah.
Yeah.
But
so I need to test my part. I know you had a Senai, didn't you, for a little bit, but I need to find somebody who can help me and come and.
I ended up buying one, didn't I? I bought one in the end because Dom from Cracking Corals, he bonded me the Senai dinner, the Senai Spectra, and it never worked. So I had to take it back, and then he sent it off to Spectrum, to actually do what they do with it, reset it. It needed to be reset or something. So he said. What I needed to find out because it was like obviously I wanted to know the right part and everything. So I just ended up buying the normal one. Now, the normal one is good enough, do you know what I mean? It's probably not as accurate as the other. But as long as it gives it in the ballpark, you know what I mean? That's all you really want, you know, like, even if it's out by 10 or 20 or 30, you know what I mean? You're not really, you're in that ballpark, so. And since I've had it overweight, it's 10 times better than me.
One thing to get right as well is the power, obviously. But then, like the equipment, as a single reefer, you're not going to buy it, are you? You're not just going to go out and buy one of those. So you need to share it out. You need to come around my house, Mogsy. You come round with it.
Mate, no problem. No problem. You know what?
I'll get you a rosé strongbow pack, and you can do it.
Mate, no problem. We'll sort that out. We can bring it round, and absolutely no worries, mate. And I'll bring some of this. I'll bring some of this bloody Senatopia out of my tank, mate. You can stick that in your tank. That's for sure. See how fast it grows.
I bet I can brown that out on the top of there. I bet you. I'll brown it out in no time.
Oh, I tell you, mate. Honest to God, it's crazy. It's weird. It's weird in tanks, how things can grow fast, and some other things you'll look at for 18 months, and you'll go, what in the hell are you doing? Why are you not growing? Do you know what I mean? Nothing, no matter what you do, it just doesn't grow. And then all of a sudden, it'll start to sprout up. It's like it's got to say to itself in its little head, you know what? Do I really want to be here, or do I just want to bail out? This is what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? And then once it's settled, it just grows. It's stupid.
But then there's this thing in reefing, like there's like a certain species of coral that just doesn't grow in that tank, no matter how hard you try or whatever. You don't know what it's. You don't know what it is until you've obviously you put everything in or whatever. But there's certain ones that you just can't get to grow in that particular tank, isn't there?
Well,
mine might be Acropora, I think.
It's like your what's it called? Your chalice, When I seen your video and I seen how it started to spread on the
that's like a weed.
That's what I mean. And yet mine started to do that, and then all of a sudden it stopped. It started to slow down, and I'm like, what in the hell? What's going on? It was growing on it, like really, really nice. Yeah. Now it seems to have just stumped. It seems to have just stopped. It's got the colour, beautiful colour on it, but it just seems to have halted. You know what I mean? So
that's one of my best growers. That is, honestly, I'm hoping that it's going to pay my mortgage off. It's one of my best growers.
You have to put some.
That one, pretty much. The rest of them haven't really grown that much. But to be fair, with the nano, I have different priorities. So my priority is trying to be coloration rather than growth, because I don't want things to grow too quickly. Otherwise, I have to, fork out a new tank quick. So I'm trying to go for coloration and then just a little bit of growth. But let's have a look at the rainbow. Can't zoom in any further than that, really. I don't think. But
let's see this.
It's all basing out nicely. That is around the bottom.
That is real. That is growing a lot faster than mine. That.
Well, if you want any tips, mate. It's just luck, isn't it? I don't know. It's just.
Oh, he's gone.
What's that?
He's back.
Have I gone?
No, you're here, mate.
There you go.
Yeah.
It is by far the brightest coral. It's absolutely just pops so much.
Yeah, it's brilliant, that, mate. You know what? It looks really. And you know what? Your sand and all that. Look, are you still doing the vacuum? Are you doing vacuum of the sand and all that? Because your sand looks.
Yeah. So I vac a third of the sand.
Yeah.
Roughly every fortnight. Roughly. It just keeps it clean. But I've got two conch as well that are just, mate. They're absolute Trojans, grafters.
Yeah.
They're always doing laps and kind of But that's the rainbow. The rainbow chalice is just unreal. It's it's one of the brightest ones, which is nice.
That's stunning, that, isn't it? You know what though? This is the problem. This is the problem we're gonna have. With this thing, with this thing, is because it's gonna grow on the frag plug. So then the other alternative is that you're just gonna have to cut the frag plug up. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas I was gonna break, a normal frag plug size, and then stick little pieces around it, and then obviously it'll base on. And then once I want to remove it, then I can just break it off. Do you know what I mean? But I really don't know what to do. In fact, first things first, it better start growing. Mine, let alone doing that. So
See, that's the thing with it. I don't really know what to do with it when it gets to the end of the tile.
That's what I mean.
I don't know what to do. I'll come to that when I get that issue really. But it's
that's the thing I don't like actually with them is when you see people who've had them
over the edge.
Yeah, when you see people who've had them grow over the edge and they actually seem to they look square basically because of the shape of the tile. That's the bit that I don't like. I think before it gets to that, then I don't know how you stop that obviously, but it's when it gets square looking that it doesn't look great in my opinion.
Yeah, I do want to get it off, but I don't know where to. I just don't know where to. So, when you kind of, I think there's a real art to scaping your corals and choosing the right position for them and things like that.
Yeah.
I haven't got the art. I'm just saying. I think it's quite a difficult thing to do. Where to position them. And also, you don't know the growth rates. You need to make sure you've got space around them. And you've got the warfare, haven't you? So it's like you got to take a lot into account when you're starting to finish down.
I'm trying to figure out what Steve's doing there.
Sorry about that. I've got a bee at the side of me trying to sting me, so I just had to get him out of the. I had to get him out of the house, mate. Got the doors all wide open. The bee just came to join us in our conversation. So
there's a good comment there from Backshift Reefer about what to do, Jay, with your frag.
What's that?
There's a good comment from Backshift Reefer there in the chat.
Sorry, I'm really bad at keeping up with the chat and responding to people in the chat. So please bear with me. What did it say?
Where did it say? Where's that?
Just the fourth last chat there from Backshift Reefer.
Oh, there.
The tile down and it grows on an instant frag.
Yeah.
Now, my chalice at the moment, obviously, it's got quite a few colours on it, but I really like the blue. And I haven't got any more. I obviously haven't got any more blue. And people say when you cut them, you get a bit more coloration. But I'd like a bit more blue on it. No, obviously you can't choose, but
yeah.
Maybe I need to go back to Scott at Future Frags because he's the man with the chalices and he knows.
He's got some stunning coral.
I mean, that is. It doesn't even look real, does it? It's just not. I mean, it was expensive. It was very. I mean, it's the most expensive coral. But every time you want to go when you want to see a reef tank, you want to look at it and go, "Oh my god, that is nuts!" Don't you? You just want to look at it, and that's one of the corals. I think I've got like 3 or 4 that I just think that they're just unreal.
Gee, what about the fact that you've waited so long for a Holy Grail and now there's loads of them come up for sale?
Yeah, what's going on there? That's taking the mick, that is. So I saved up for 3 months and there was nothing, and then everybody's got a Holy Grail at the moment. So I need to save up again because I've just bought one of my newest ones that I put in. I bought from where's this sticker? I've got a sticker out window. So Northern Reefer, obviously, I think everybody pretty much follows him. So Northern Reefer on Instagram, he's got like an insane torch garden. I think it's slightly better than Colette's, who's amazing as well. Like they've both got amazing torch gardens.
Absolutely.
And he's doing a little bit of a rejig. He's having a little bit of a rejig, and it's like, I've got a torch here. Do you want it? So I showed you that picture last week. He's like, yeah, show you the picture. He's like, do you want this? I was like, oh my god, do I want that? Definitely. And it was just insane, this Indo Master torch. Anyway, so it turned up. When did it turn up? Thursday with Royal Mail, and it's in there now. So I've had a little bit of a rejig. I'll just try and get it on there. So it's only been in there 24 hours, about 24 hours. So, but it's settling in, I think, quite nicely.
Other way, Jay.
That's it. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my lenses right here. This is shocking. Right, so it's down here. So my master. I mean, I don't know if you can see that.
Oh yeah.
You see it? I don't know what it's looking like. I just can't really see. But
is it a single head or two?
No, it's 2. No, it's 3 heads. That one is. So it's 3 heads. Wow. It's got green at the base. Then it's got gold, purple, and then like these green tips. But obviously, it's still just set. Let me just turn this light off a minute. It's still just settling in, to be honest. But mate, it looks absolutely nuts. The pistol shrimp's just been shooting at me as well. Then.
Yeah, it does look good.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
stunning.
Yeah,
really
so
nice that.
just try to. Yeah, it's absolutely stunning. Like the coloration, even under whites, it's just crazy. Yeah, so that's where my Dragon Soul used to be, but yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. I know that the camera's not doing a very good job here. Wait up.
You know what? You know what though? Those SPSs there, what I've just seen there, they're looking pretty decent.
Yeah, they're my new ones, right? So they're me. You see them at the top? Look at that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's nice colour on them.
Sorry, I'm all over with the camera here. I'm probably going to make everybody sick. 5 minutes. So, I can't see what I'm doing, that's why. So there they are. So I've got a brand new Acropora there, the nearest one. It's like rose gold. And then that Montipora at the back is, I think it's a Montipora, that one is. What's it called? I don't know. Stellata? Is it Stellata?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those, and it's absolutely bright green, like really toxic green. It looks really nice. So I put that one in today as well. So I got them from. So I picked them up from a guy called Signature Frags, which I think he's in the chat at the moment.
Yeah, he is actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't know, but this guy, he lives in. He's got a coral farm in Derbyshire, which is where I live.
Yeah.
And saw one of his corals on Instagram, and I was like, "Oh, I'd love that coral. Can you reserve it for me?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, I'll reserve it. It'll be ready in about 6 to 8 weeks," which is fair play because he's letting it base out and letting it settle.
Yeah.
Anyway, he messaged me yesterday. He's like that, that Acropora, it's ready. Come and collect it. So I collected that one. I got this, got the other one down here, this Montipora, and it's like, if you get those two, I'll chuck one in for you. I was like, what? I'll chuck that one in. So I got that green one free.
Nice.
So yeah, free.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. That's really nice.
Yeah, it is really nice. You don't expect it. Obviously, these businesses have been struggling a bit through all this lockdown stuff.
Yeah.
But because I got them other two, is like I'll sort you out with that one. And same as Northern Reefer as well. Northern Reefer, he chucked a Montipora plate in there as well. That's my other freebie. Nice. Yeah, so
Prestige. Ryan's in. He's come to join us. He's put that on. All's good. Thought I'd pop in and see a proper live stream. Ryan, thanks for joining in, mate.
Appreciate it. How you doing?
Ryan. Hope all is well with the family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ryan, when's the orange Recordias available? Yeah. I want to tap it. Have you seen these orange Recordias?
No.
Jay's got. You know what I do want, actually? I'll have to go on Ryan's to see because I've
put your order in now. Signature Frags and Prestige Reef. Put your orders in.
I want to see if he's got any of the grafted Montiporas. I want a grafted Montipora plate. I want to go in the main display, but I haven't seen any. I used to see quite a few of them, and I can't really find them now. Or when you do find them, they're so tiny. Really tiny piece.
Yeah.
So I want a grafted one, where because I tried to do it myself and it's just impossible. It just won't happen. You know what I mean?
I think Colin McCallum's in the chat. He was earlier, and he's got a guy that he uses. I think it's called Fraggle Rock Frags, and I'm sure they do the grafted Montiporas.
Do they?
I think so, mate. Yeah.
You know what? I do want a nice piece of that grafted Monty. I want a nice, a nice decent chunk. Nice size. I want a nice piece of it because I'm going to take that green one out of my tank. I've decided I'm going to take it out and I'm going to place it there. Where it is. I'm going to hopefully it'll grow. You know what I mean? But
that's it. That's it. That's the name of that green coral, Stub Stellata.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unreal. It's so bright. Yeah, really nice. Yeah, really nice SPS corals. Really good. Absolutely love it. I'm going to be back there as well.
Right. There you go, Steve. Colin's put in the chat that he'll send you a message on Instagram with the guy's details because the guy does do the grafted Montipora. I'm sure it's on Facebook and I'm sure it's under Fraggle Rock Frags, if I mind right.
Right.
It's a guy from Glasgow, but I think he posts them all over the place. So.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I appreciate that. Absolutely. Let me see. Lovely. Let's put in lovely then. I'm assuming
Oh,
your contribution.
I absolutely love him. I just want him to go out now. Nice.
He's messaged Dragonfly.
No, mate. I've been waiting for one of these. I've been waiting for one of these since I cycled with Dr. Tim's about 7 months ago. Honest to God, they've been on the website. They've been on the website once. But when he does his, you know, that little show round, and you're just like, I want one of them, I want one of them, I want one of them.
Yeah.
Same with signature frags. When you go on his SPS website, you're just like, I want that, I want that, I want that.
Yeah.
No,
and you know what you guys always buy, you know, like from like, well, I say always, you know, sometimes, yeah, from online and stuff. That's one thing I've never ever done. You know, I've never bought a coral from an online store ever. Never ever. No, and you know what? I don't know why. Because you know at the time
you've never had the styrofoam box shipped to you.
Never.
It's an experience, mate.
Never.
You need to try it.
Never, mate. Never.
It's like Christmas morning, mate. It's like Christmas morning.
You know, and I was thinking of doing that, of getting, you know, like, and I might just do it, you know, get a really special piece, yeah, and do an unboxing and put it on the channel and that. But you know, it's something, you know, like my very first unboxing of a coral shit to me, because I've never had it. I've always gone to like LFSs, whether they're like 5 miles away or whether they're like 30, 40, 50 miles, and I've always like bought it, you know, that way and seen it in person, because I'm like most people, you know, when you see a coral up close, you think that's nice. That you see it in the tank, you go, yeah, that's like, and there's nothing more personal than seeing a coral in the display, and then you see it and you go, you know what, you have that. I don't know what the word is, but you have that thing where you think, you know what, yeah, I want that one, yeah. But when you see them online, you go, that's stunner. But then if you come and then you let down with it, that's probably a big part for me. Do you know what I mean,
now,
mate?
All the ones I've had from Kingdom of Corals, Prestige Reef, Signature Frags, and you know, mate, and Northern Reefer, even though it's not a shop, mate, they're so good at packing these corals that like. When you open them, they're obviously still like all the colours there. They're still out. They're just so good.
Ryan from Prestige Reef. I watch all of his videos, and he's like absolutely. He's probably got one of the cleanest frag tanks in the world. I think, you know what I mean. It's absolutely insane. You know, his tank. It's just like, and he's meticulous, and that's like when you see people like, by all means, I will not think twice about buying from Ryan, you know what I mean? None whatsoever. But some others you think, you know, like where you're not too sure of. That's probably the reason why I've never really bought. But absolutely, I'm definitely gonna.
All the ones I've had, mate, I recommend every single one of them. They've all been absolutely beautifully packaged, and they've all come healthy. Yeah. Anyway, you've got one by the look of it. One's coming on its way. Someone's sending you one. One coming in the chat.
Oh, sorry. Don't tell them, like. You know what
about one?
Oh, no. All right. Reef King said he sent me a small box of firework clothes, and he did. Fair play, yeah. That was. But what I mean was from like looking online, yeah. That was a nice gift from.
He's online. He's an online coral farmer. He's online.
That was it. No, what I mean is, like, I've not bought it. You know, like I'm not paid in it. Bought one ordered one. You know what I mean? He just said to
see if you get one of the. If you get one of the
I'll send you some out, and I was like, all right, nice one, cheers. You know what I mean? I was like, right, cheers, pal. And the next minute, you know, it was like knocking on the door. I was like, wow, this is crazy. And it had this pop towel in it. I was like, what the hell? I still use that pop towel, actually, Reef King. I appreciate it, mate.
James, if you manage to get one of the orange mushrooms, mate, then we'll maybe do a wee trade with the mushroom I've got so that you can get one of mine and I'll get one of yours.
Everyone wants the orange.
Hey, absolutely.
Ryan, I'll sort me out, please. Honestly, the colour of these orange Recordia is insane, but they've only been on once, and I've never seen them again. I even joined a Patreon so I could get one. I've still not seen one yet.
Yeah,
for real.
Yeah.
Patreon.
You know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna signature frags. I'm gonna order something from him. And I'm going to order something from Ryan, and I'm going to do like an unbox. I'm going to order, and I'm going to do a unboxing video. But they're going to have to be special. I'm going to have to really think of like what I need from a tank. I mean, I do want another. I do want another torch coral. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's got to be something special, like because I've got most of them, but I want something like I need a New York Knicks or something. I need a New York Knicks, or I need something like a what are they called? The Rastas, is it, or something like that? I need something like that. Something different. No, the
Rasta Torch.
The Rasta Torch.
From Ryan, get the orange hammer when that comes available. That is stunning. The orange hammer. And from Signature Flags, his SPS, any of them, mate, are just unreal. Stunning SPS, and actually they're quite big as well. Like that green one, that's a frag, and it's quite big. Like in my nano, it's picking up the back wall already. Yeah. Get online shopping with those little poly boxes. When they come with your post, you get a bill in one hand, and then you get from Royal Mail. You get a bill in one hand, then you get a coral in the other. It's nice.
Blackpool Reef is on form here today, and look at it. Ross's head is looking like he's had the Mr. Miyagi polish in it.
There is a serious bit of Have you had it? Have you shaved it or something before you've come on?
No, I shave it on a Sunday, mate. So believe it or not, it's actually grown as long as it ever really grows. But I did get quite badly sunburnt on my head this week, so that might be just fresh scalp there.
By the way, Ross, your room's looking absolutely awesome. By the way,
thanks. Is it because of the poster, mate? Is that what it is? Is that what's done it?
I noticed it straight away, mate. The poster just adds to it there. Glad it's back up. Who is it? Who is that girl anyway? That's a different girl, isn't it?
That's the 2019 Hooters centerfold, whoever she is. Don't know.
It's a different girl than the other one. You've changed her.
I just opened that up at the centre pages, mate, and that's what was there. So who knows?
Well, fair enough. The crab's happy anyway.
He is actually. He's up at the back of the tank just now. I'm not quite sure what he's doing, but I'll maybe just leave him to that. I don't think it's PG rated.
No, the room's just looking awesome. You got your 2 reef tanks, then you got your frog, whatever it is, vivarium or whatever. Looks really nice.
It's getting there, mate.
And you've got the pink painting. What's she called again? Pink something painting.
That's from Shez Pink.
Shez Pink, yeah.
Really nice. Doesn't do it justice when you see it on the screen here, but it's really, really nice actually.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Really good.
And then my 2 doggos.
Yeah.
2 what?
2 dogs at the top of that.
Oh, nice, very nice. How's the t-shirts going?
Good, mate. Yeah, actually, we've sold quite a few more this week. So,
Chernobyl Aquatic. The next one is that the next one?
I've not decided on the next one, mate. I was going to do one for you, Jay.
Where's mine gone? Let me go get mine.
Well, I was thinking of doing one for Jay that said "expert in growing brown sticks," and then I thought, I don't know if that's really suitable.
Stu Reese put Mogsy Abyss have some New York Knicks and Rasta Todges. It's a long story, my friend, but it's a love-hate relationship with Abyss in Stockport. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not slagging him. I've got nothing thingy, but I've had a few things from him, and they didn't go to plan. You know what I mean? So I'm always a bit wary, like with getting something from there. So it's not really a place that I actually go to. You know what I mean? I go there sometimes to get like dried stuff if I need, if it's urgent. But other than that, mate, I don't really buy livestock from there. So you know what I mean? It's a love-hate relationship in there. But great place, massive place, and many people don't have any problems with them. But for me, sometimes it's just a bit of an issue with them. That's all. So. Well, yeah, I appreciate you putting that down. That's for sure.
Rasta torch. I don't think I've ever seen a Rasta torch.
Yeah,
that sounds really good.
The Rasta torch is like dead bright yellow.
That's a new one, isn't it?
Yeah. No,
I think I sent that in the WhatsApp chat to you, Jay.
Oh yeah.
They're not as dear either as like the gold torches like the New York Knicks is. I think they've been retailed like £100 or £110 or something. It wasn't that dear. They're not that dear really. Ahead.
It was Polish Reefer on Instagram that I seen that had one that was really nice, actually.
Signature Flags put Colette's marine tank. What flatworms do you have? So Colette, if you let Signature Flag know, he will definitely know what.
Right, different species.
Know what to do. Pardon?
Is a different.
Oh yeah, there's loads of different. Yeah, there's loads of different flatworms.
Has she got rid of? Has she got rid of them or not yet? Then I don't know.
She said to Thingy to Reef King before that she was dipping them or something. Let's see if I can find it.
I think she was dipping them
Yeah,
every 2 or 3 days.
I worry about them.
You see, that's it. Like, when I got that SPS, and I had those flatworms, and then thankfully I found out sooner rather than later. Do you know what I mean? And then I did that 6-line wrasse, and I've not seen any whatsoever. And I do blow my tank, with a turkey baster, and I give it a blast and all that. But I've not seen any whatsoever. So it's definitely done the job. That's for sure. That
she collect double dipped torch, didn't she? And that's what I did with this latest one. So I dipped it in Coral RX, and then I dipped it in C-Chem.
Yeah. Did you ever see that Reef Build? Did you ever see Reef Builders? What he done? He uploaded a video, didn't it? God, it was a while ago, and he had the gold torch, and then he put the gold torches in their finger because he said he knew he had flatworms, and he squirted them.
Oh, I have seen that. Yeah.
And I swear to God, mate, I've never seen so many flatworms in all my life. It covered the whole bucket, didn't it? With them all, and I think he was shocked. He was like, "Oh, I didn't know there was that many." It was like there must have been hundreds of them, and you don't see them. When the torches are in the coral, you don't see them at all. And yet, there must have been like 100, 150, 200 of them that fell off. It's just insane, mate, how they populate and where they hide. But they're horrible.
They eat the euphilia, don't they? They eat the euphilia, don't they? So, like, they're the dearest, one of the dearest corals. I'd be panicking, I would.
Secret Resport has got to go. May's live stream again. Have exams in 2 weeks, so won't be in the next 2 weeks. But guys, keep it great. You know what? Best of luck in your exams, mate. And
thanks for joining us, mate.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Paul. Appreciate it.
Yeah, he'll smash it because he's preparing for it. So that's the main thing.
Absolutely.
And if you're struggling, just ask Jay. He'll help you out.
If it's geography A level, mate, I might have a chance. Anything else? If it's to do refit, Paul's on next week. I've got a clue. Affiliate one's coming.
Jordan Duffield's he's got a decent little raster from Supreme Corals. Right.
I've never heard of them. I've not heard of them.
You know what? This is a good thing. Like when you're on these live streams and stuff. Yeah, people bring your attention to other shops that you've never even heard of, or like Facebook pages or Instagram pages. I never know. I just see the ones that I know really and that I use. You know what I mean? But I'll look into that Supreme Corals.
Oh yeah, like Signature Frags is up the road to me, and I never even knew existed till about a month and a half, 2 months ago. Yeah,
is he up the road for you? Is that?
Yeah, he's up the road, mate. So I went to collect it this time, but I'm hopefully getting invited back, and I'm going to do a little video on the coral farm because I'd love to see the farm, honestly.
Oh yeah, really that'd be great. That'd be great.
Good, yeah. So I'm going to go back up in the next few months, hopefully. Yeah, it's just down the road.
Let's put with a purple tang. Don't want to risk. So I'm assuming that maybe that they've Signature Frags has said to maybe add something like a wrasse or something like that. Because wrasses do eat flatworms. That's their main predatory diet. That's what they get. That's what they go for. And the smaller the wrasse, the smaller they can get into. Like the little nooks and crannies and stuff like that. When you get the larger wrasses, they can't get in, especially if you've got like SPS and they're all over the show. You know what I mean? They can't get into them and pick them off. So like my tiny little 6-line wrasses, maybe an inch, little under an inch maybe. So we can get right into the little places. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, mate. But she's saying there with a purple tang, she don't want to risk adding any other fish. We stress everything out and maybe white spot. Yeah, that's the biggest concern when you have fish. You bring in white spotting. You know what I mean? But yeah, it is.
Steve, how's your little nano going? Anyway, you haven't given us.
Going brilliant, mate. Like you said, I've had a few issues with obviously my personal life, and what's been going on in the family. So that's the reason why I've not uploaded a video. I've not really posted much on Instagram or anything or on YouTube. But I'm going to get back into it. That's for sure. This week I'm going to upload a few videos. Maybe upload a couple of videos. Do you know what I mean? This week, maybe. Maybe one of
It's
the
going
main
well,
displays. Nano, you know what I mean? 2 separate ones maybe, but
yeah,
it's all going well, mate. Everything's thriving in it. It's great. It's crazy how like things thrive in that nano tank. You know what I mean? It just seem to blossom. And I just, like I said, all I do is I just add that all for reef, 10 mil a day. Do you know what I mean? I don't do anything special. I do a water change. Now I was doing it every week, but now I'm doing it every fortnight now. So it seems to keep the nitrates around about 5 to 10, between 5 to 10.
Yeah.
And phosphates are literally non-detectable. It's like 0.01 or 0.02. There's not very, very little phosphates in it. So, yeah, overall, mate, it's growing really well in it.
How do you find the all for reef, mate?
I love the all for reef, mate. Absolutely love it. Love it.
I know a lot of people in the chat room say that it's great.
Absolutely rock steady, mate. I've said it time and time again, and anybody with a tank of 200 litres or under, you must go for it, because there's no point in adding a dosing system to your tank. There's no point in adding, in my opinion, this is my opinion, there's no need to. If you've only got a few corals, you don't need to add a dosing system. You don't need to add, A, B of this and A, 1, 2, 3 of that. You don't need to do it. Just add that all for reef, a squirt of it like that, 10 mil, 15 mil, tip it in, and that's it for the day. You don't need to do anything. It's done. Do you know what I mean? And I'm sure when you go in the morning to see your tank, or whenever you go in, just squirt the bottle, tip it in, and then, you know what I mean? I leave it on the side so I don't forget. You know what I mean? So every time I come in, I see it. So I'll just go, oh, I better figure out put it in. And it thrives, mate. It keeps it 8.6.
Mine's overkill, to be honest.
Rock steady, mate.
Right. Yeah, the all for refill.
You don't need to.
No, you don't need to.
Unless you've got a completely stocked tank of like SPS, which basically are the calcium meters. That's what they are, aren't they? You know what I mean? Let's be honest. And alkaline eaters, they just suck the calcium. So obviously, in that sense, I think you need to have the doser and then dose the supplements. But if you've got like LPS and softies, and you don't need to do anything. You don't need to add a doser onto your tank, in my opinion. You just got to put that 15, 20 mil, find out how much you need of it a day, squirt it in, and that's it. It's done with. You don't need to worry about it for the rest of the day. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I've been doing in this tank, and it's rock steady at 8.6 on the alkalinity. Every time I test it, I always try and trick it. I think, you know what, I'll try it at the end of the day or whatever. It's always 8.6. It just keeps it steady, and I don't know why. It's just, and yet everything's growing. Do you know what I mean? So it's definitely working. Definitely good.
Do you run Roaphos in there then? For your phosphates are that low? No GFO?
Nothing, mate. Nothing.
Phosphates are that low? Wow.
Nothing. I do not run absolutely anything on it, mate. None whatsoever. Do you know what I mean? Nothing. It's crazy because I've got that hang on the back filter, which I've never even looked into. You know, the hang on the back filters. And then obviously I had the what's it called, the skim, the skimmer, the hang on the back skimmer type thing as well. And they do the job, mate. They take out all dead black gunk out of it. You know, it's doing its job. So I don't run anything in it. I don't run carbon, don't run Roaphos, don't run nothing in it. I've just got those bio balls out of my main display that's running the filtration. That's all that's in the tank. Nothing else.
Filter sock. You're saying it's got a filter sock on it?
No, well, in the little hang on the back like filter, it just has a little piece, or just put some filter, filter wool, just some filter wool. Like a sponge. And I just put that on the top of it and leave it. That's all. And then I change that every like 2 or 3 days, and then just put a new fresh piece. But that's it, mate. I don't do anything, nothing on it. It's so simple.
They're good. Mine swing around a little bit. Mine do.
Phosphates in my main display for some reason are going up and down all the time like that, and I just can't seem to get that balance with it. It's like, but when they go high, the corals look better. When it goes low, the corals look a bit dull. Do you know what I mean? So now, like I tested my tank the other day on the Tuesday, and I thought, when I was offered, I thought, you know what, I'll test the tank. Tested it on the Tuesday, and my nitrates were 7 parts per million, which is slightly higher. I usually run it about 5. Was 7 parts per million, and yet the phosphates were 0.18. They got up to 0.18 again, and I'm like, what the hell? What's going on here? You know what I mean? And yet the corals, I've never looked any better, mate. They look perfect. So I think I'm going to stick to that level of 0.18. I'm going to keep it in that range. See how it goes, and then if they show stress, then I could just reduce it, put some raw phos in, and just reduce it. So
Yeah.
I look at the coral, rather than chasing numbers. I'm just going to look at the coral, and they'll tell me. You know what I mean? Just by the look of them. So that's all I'm going to do now.
Definitely a link between phosphates and coloration, because when my phosphates
Absolutely.
go up, the colours come back every time.
Yeah.
And you know, people kind of demonize a little bit phosphates and stuff like that, but I think it's key for coloration. Where's it going?
I'm just getting this my laptop charger, mate. It's going to die.
We're all going to go down. The whole live stream's going down here. This is what it is.
Game over. He's actually just away to see the ironing board's all right. That's what he's doing.
Yeah. So do you use all three on yours then, Ross? Obviously, you've got a little tank. You haven't got the doser on there.
I don't dose anything. I don't run a skimmer. I don't dose. I just keep it mega simple on mine, mate.
Water change, is that it?
Yeah. I do a 20% water change every week, and that's it. I don't dose anything. I don't have a need to dose anything, mate. I've only got some. I've got my torch. My torch, my Duncan, and then everything else is all softies, mate. So.
Do you do any live feeding or anything like that? No. Like
nah, frozen feed, mate. That's it. But I don't frozen feed religiously. It's only just sometimes as a kind of supplement. So I do change my feed from night to night. Basically, I change what foods I'm giving them. So my phosphate sits. What was my last test results? 0.03. My phosphate's at just now, which seems to be okay. My nitrates kind of bounce between. Obviously, I've got Salfert test kits, so it's between 5 and 10, I would say, for the nitrates. But it sits quite healthy at that, mate, and seems to be really happy with that. So I'm happy with that as well.
I mean, I do like a bit of live feeding from time to time. You know, the copepods and the brine shrimp.
Yeah.
A bit of phyto. I do think I feel it's helped my tank a little bit. Do you live feed sometimes, Steve?
Yeah. Well, I feed, and
just add to that biodiversity and stuff.
Yeah, I just buy the 5 bags of copepods. You know, the 5 bags of copepods that you get from the LFS. Yeah. And I just tip them in at the night time, maybe once every 3-4 weeks or something. Not all the time. But what I do like to give the fish is I like to give them, you know, the river shrimp. You know, the river shrimp, and I like to give them because especially the clownfish and stuff like that. They just they love them, mate. So you just throw them in, get them and they just go in.
The thing is,
but some of them,
how do you make sure you don't overfeed your fish? That's the problem with it. Like I chuck them brine shrimp in, they munch through them all, loads of them, and I'm like, you can kill your fish by overfeeding them, can't you? Can you?
I don't know. You know, I mean, I have heard. You know, like with like the thing is with them, innit, it's saying like when you're feeding your fish, how much they can eat in like 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Right. That's what you had like little pippets of food, and then whatever they eat. Like my little tiny clowns in my little nano tank here, I'll feed them with the little brine shrimp, and they'll go to them and they'll eat them, and I'll just like literally put like 4 or 5 like squirt little tiny pippets in, and then they'll go in the little, and the blenny will come up and he'll eat his thing, but no food goes on the floor, no food goes on the sand, none whatsoever. I just all in the suspended in the water column, and then what they do is they eat it. And then when they don't want to eat anymore, they go over to the filter, you know, the filtration. It goes over to there, and they stay in that corner. They don't bother. And it's as if like they've said, you know what, I've had enough. But I feed them 3 times a day, only little smaller pieces. Do you know what I mean? 3 times a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 1 in the evening, and that's it. And they seem to be perfect, mate. You know what I mean? So,
I only feed my fish once a day.
Signature Frags has put down. Amongst the aquarium, PO4 is very dynamic. If you test it daily, you will see how much or little feeding impacts them. It will allow you to understand the right amount to add daily. You know what? Good point, mate. Absolutely. Very, very good point. And he also put down that be it fish food or coral food, you'll get to the point where you can keep it stable and not use GFO. You see, that's a big thing. You know, when I hear a lot of people like to say, or you're using like no-pox. Like I don't use no-pox or anything.
No, I've never used no-pox either.
Never used it. I used it in my 170 when I had a bit of an issue, but then I didn't. In this one, I said, you know what? I'm just going to go the normal, natural way of like letting biodiversity take over and stuff like because what it is I believe that if you dose your tank full of no-pox and all that, and stuff like that, and your tank becomes like addicted to it. It's like a drug addict, you know, like where it gets used to it. So then when you like either run out or something like that, or it stops dosing for some reason, like your pump might stop running, your dosing pump might stop running, that's when you're going to get problems, because your corals and everything gets used to it. And before you know it, that's when you're going to hit major problems. So for me, I try and go as best as I can for the normal way. It's like I don't really run carbon in the tank. You know what I mean? I don't really want to run carbon in it. I run it every so often. If the water looks a bit cloudy or maybe like, I don't know, I think something's got into the water, like some spray or something, then I'll run carbon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't really run carbon in it. And the Rowaphos, I had in my tank just to bring because it went to 0.22, just to drop it down a little bit. But now it's at like I said, it's at like 0.151, 0.17. So for me, I'm just going to keep it. I'm going to keep it at that. You know what I mean? I'm just going to keep it and see where it goes. And if it goes any more, and then the corals look worse for wear, then I'm just going to obviously put more Rowaphos in or just replace it. You know what I mean? But good point.
When I go to, you know, like when you go to the pet shop and you think, right, I'm going to treat my dog and get him a bone or whatever, and actually treat. Every time I go to the LFS, I'm like, I'm going to treat the fish today. Just get a few copepods, a bit of brine shrimp. You know, it's like it's a gift, isn't it, to the tank? And then if you get different ones as well, different like brands, I'm guessing, of phyto and these live foods, you're just adding to your biodiversity as well, aren't you, of your tank?
Here's a question for you then. Do you guys feed garlic supplements to your fish?
Garlic?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
You do?
I put it all the time religiously with the mysis shrimp, yeah.
Yeah. Because that's something that I'm just switching over to just now, is the garlic with the mysis.
Garlic is supposedly is a good thing for keeping parasites away, you know, like certain parasites and all that. That's what I got told.
In the sea?
Well, there isn't, but I believe that fish do love it, you know, because obviously, because I've told you before how I do my fish food, haven't I? Yeah. What I do is I put RO water with the 2 cubes, and then what I do is I drain it in a sieve, you know, like a little sieve type thing, yeah. But what I do then is I add like two or three drops of garlic on it, you know, onto the mysis, yeah. Let it soak in, and then throw it into the tank, and the fish
liquid garlic.
I'll get it now. I'll show you.
So what does this do, Ross?
So it's just beneficial for the fish, I believe, mate. Like Steve says, I think it's quite, yeah. There you go.
Garlic oil.
Oh, so it's actually a marine product.
Yeah, so it's got vitamins, it's got omega-3 acids and garlic extract. But the fish, for some reason, they just absolutely love it, mate. You know what I mean?
I like a garlic pizza bread. It's well nice.
Well, if you like garlic, you know, like your garlic bread, and then your missus stays away from you. That's what you got to do, mate. You know what I mean? The parasites.
I'm trying to pair my clowns up, so I don't want any garlic in there. It'll cut the romance.
The parasites stay away from them, mate. So that's what it is. You know what I mean? But yeah, I always soak them, and the fish absolutely love it, and it keeps that, like I said, supposedly keeps parasites and stuff away from them. Whether it does, I don't know.
You can buy the frozen food ready mixed with garlic, Jay. That's what I've done. TMC do it, so you can buy like your brine shrimp or mysis, whatever, mixed with garlic. So all you need to do is plug the cube in then, and that's it done.
Wow.
Dragonflies it wards off parasites. It's the same with his koi fish as well. So yeah, koi carp, same thing.
This is a really common thing that people use garlic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It is. It's something, you know, like you just said, you don't get garlic in the ocean. You know what I mean? You don't get garlic in the ocean, do you? But you know what?
I mean, who finds this out? I don't really know. It's like, just chuck some garlic in fish. Fish are loving it.
Yeah.
I mean, garlic is one of the nicest things to put on food. Yeah, you're right. But I didn't know.
Well, there's an interesting comment from Russell Brooks there, Steve. The very last comment.
Yeah.
All wives' tale. Long-term use is dangerous.
Wow.
Hey, this is. I don't know, mate.
Well, this is a talking point here now. Hey, this is a talking point. So what I'm going to say to everybody who's in the stream here, who uses any sort of garlic oil extract or anything on their fish food, let us know. Let us know who actually uses it, and then obviously Russell's saying that It's
If
an
it's
old
over
buy sale.
80%, I'll give it a go, and if it's not, then I'm keeping away.
Also,
Oh,
let us know how long you fed the garlic
80%.
for. 'Cause it'd be interesting to see how long people have fed the
Chucking
garlic.
garlic in there and killing everything. Jesus.
Yeah. So here's our first
Garlic.
MJBOSRS has said yes, garlic. He uses it.
See, there's quite a lot of folk before that in the chat have said they use garlic as well.
Have they? Oh, yeah, Stu's Reef.
Oh my god, I need a spice rack at this rate. We've got ginger now.
I'll give one of you there. He has garlic in the frozen. I use garlic helps boost the immune system. So
That is true,
yeah.
actually. In humans, yeah.
Paul UK Reefers put he has garlic saturated nori. Right? Nori seaweed. Fair play.
Mm.
So yeah, so you know what though? It seems like a lot of people do use it. Do you know what I mean? Russell's also added on to that. He's said fish love garlic, but its effectiveness is a myth. It's good for finicky, so good for finicky fish, like who maybe like don't like really, don't really like feeding, yeah.
Like a proper band.
Yeah,
maybe.
They
can be finicky, can't they, at first?
Yeah, maybe.
Mm. I don't know. I'm gonna get this down here. I'm gonna put a spice rack up here. What spice rack? I'll try one each week and then see how we get on. There might be other things to add to it. Cinema.
Stay away for the peri-peri, mate.
Peri-peri Fandos. Thanks, Daniela, but the fish are absolutely loving it.
Cottage Reef put he buys mices with the garlic. Yeah, I'm the same, mate. I think I've got them in the freezer actually, but I do because obviously because the garlic's mixed with the water, that they put into the mices. I drain that water out and then I just add it on top of it. You know what I mean? And it stinks. Of course, it stinks. But you know what though? Like I said, the fish absolutely fly to it. Touch wood, I've got to admit, in my whole little short career of this hobby, in the whole 3 years, I've never lost a fish to, and I'm not jinxing myself yet. I hope to God I'm not yet. Is like with parasites or anything like that. You know what I mean?
With your luck, don't say it. Don't say it. You have bad luck, mate.
I could talk for hours what's been going on in the last 2 weeks of my tank. You know what I mean? I wasn't on last week, so obviously these last 2 weeks, mate, has been a nightmare. Wow. You know what I mean? In one sense, but
I mean, I'm just looking at the comments. I'm looking at the comments now, and this garlic thing looks like a kebab to me. It's like a kebab. It's really nice. You love it. But you shouldn't be having it, really, should you? I don't think you should be having it. I'm getting the sense it's like a dirty kebab on a night out. They're going to absolutely love it, but they're not. But long term, it's not good.
It's just the following morning.
You know what, Jay? It's a good analogy, that, mate. But I think a lot of people use it, and you know what? But having said that, though, it's like people say I'm saying it supposedly keeps their immune system well and it keeps parasites off them, But on the same hand, they say that you running a UV sterilizer on your tank, which I do anyway, Running a UV sterilizer, it kills any parasites that go through the water column, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I run that. So it could be that it could just be that because I run the UV, it might have nothing to do with me putting garlic on the food, but it's just a habit. I've done it for the past year and a half or something. So it's just that every time I feed the fish mysis, I just sprinkle a couple of drops on it. And I'll leave it, you know what I mean? So, it seems
interesting. It's interesting to hear the views, isn't it? I mean, it's very much split to me. So I have blue cheese with my steak, which is a bit weird, but I love blue cheese. I love it. I love it. It's amazing. I don't reckon blue cheese is going to go down well in there.
And you know what? Blue cheese, it stinks, but it doesn't taste the way it smells. It doesn't taste the way it smells. It's strange, isn't it? I love blue cheese, mate. I love it.
On your steak as well, it's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
mate.
live feeding is, I think it's good.
Yeah.
It works well.
I'm just having a look at seeing if I've missed anything out, but I think I seem to have caught up with everything what people have been saying. But what I'll do is I'll go on to my little thing, what's been going on with my tank.
Yeah.
And where do I start? Well,
what about the clowns? Are they paired up?
What, in my main display?
Oh, your nano.
No,
Sorry,
no.
I'm talking nano.
I'm talking about my main display tank.
Sorry, mate. Forgive me.
No. So I'll come on to the nano, but yeah, no, the main display, everything was going all right. The SPS, which was stripping, that just seems to have stripped to that point where the film last time. So a little over a week doesn't seem to have stripped anymore. So it's definitely Call of Warfare. It's got nothing to do with any bugs or anything like that. So that's a good thing that's managed to stay alive a little bit. But I keep saying that time and time again is like, if you ever put in SPSs on a rock, space them out, leave them, put a bit of space, because when they grow, this is the problem.
Much space?
I'd say at least 1.5 inches, 2 inches away from each other, at least.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because what they do is they tend to base out on the rock and before they grow upwards. Do you know what I mean? So once they start to base out on the rock, once they both start to hit each other, that's when they have that fight. You know, that warfare, and one of them is going to come out on top. One of them will come out on top, and the other one, which, knowing my luck, and it was my luck, was one of the best ones that I've had in from day one. Do you know what I mean, in this tank? So I was a bit gutted about it, but it seems to have recovered a little bit. So I'm hoping that it'll start to grow back. Maybe, I don't know, but we'll see how it goes. But going back onto that main tank, I came down in the morning and I was hearing a beep on the sound, and I was like, this has got to be like what we were talking about, the D&D controller, but it wasn't. I opened the door and it was the Clarity. So the Clarity was going crazy. It had a red light flashing on it. So I was like what the hell's going on here? Yeah. Found out that the motor is not powerful enough for some reason to turn the motor. So when the float switch activates it, what it's done is it's just not got enough power to go. So I had to strip the motor out, took it out, cleaned it, stripped the motor down, and there was a screw snapped. There was a screw snapped in it. So I was like, what the hell is that? Where's that screw come from? And what it is where the actual motor fits in, there's a screw that holds it to like the spindle. And then the spindle, then it bites onto that screw. What's happened is he said that you've either put it in slightly at an angle, and then when the weight of the roller's gone on it, it snapped the thing. So there's not enough power on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So basically, I've been in contact with Tony from D&D, and he said that he's going to send me out a new spindle part and what do you call it? But you've got to drill it out yourself. You know what I mean? So I've got to do that this weekend some point. I've got to drill it out and hopefully get that get that back going, and then going on to the KH Keeper. I know I talked about like the KH Keeper is a useless piece of bleep, but we what do you call it? We've sorted it out, I didn't get any free things. I had to pay just a little under £200 to buy the new KH Keeper Plus. So basically, that's cost me like close to £800 for that Keeper.
So you've done that, have you?
I've had to pay it, mate. Yeah, they gave me an email saying that you've got to the 31st to pay it over, or other than that, you lose the chance. So basically, what I've got to wait for is that, I paid the £200, and then what they do is I don't receive it for another 5 weeks. You know what I mean? What's all that about? You know what I mean? So I paid the £200.
Not even made then, yeah.
Exactly. So I paid the £200. I've got to wait for 5 weeks for it to be delivered, and then when it gets delivered, I've got to send my old KH Keeper back to them at my own cost. You know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, I'm not going to slag them because I'm going to wait and I'm going to see what this is like. And then if this one is beep, then I'm going to slag them, and that's what's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? But I'm hoping because it's got better quality components in it. It's got supposedly a lab grade pH probe in it. It's supposedly got like stepper motors, which are more accurate. So, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping that it will do the business. You know what I mean? And for £800, I think it should. But other than that, in the main display tank, everything's gone right. But it's all mainly all about equipment in my tank. You know what I mean? It just seems to be things seem to be breaking and shutting down. You know what I mean? I think I've come to that point. Like the 2-year point, where
3 year mark and everything.
Yeah, things are beginning to like break down, mate. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that things will stop breaking and things will stop costing me money. You know what I mean? So, but it is what it is in this hobby. You know what I mean? You've got to take that on board, and you've got to think to yourself, you know what? Things are going to break. You know what I mean? And you've just got to get on with it.
Like when a car gets to about 80,000 miles, you start to have to replace things again, don't you?
Exactly, mate. You know what? That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. But,
so you've not been running the Clarity then? Because I know you love that Clarity, don't you?
Yeah, that's the one that's the one that I've got to get fixed. So he's going to he's sending me the new piece over. So I've got to take it apart. I've got to drill it out. So hopefully I can drill it out and what do you call it, and be able to sort it out. But it's going to be a tricky situation because it's like basically the screws snapped off. It's threaded off in it. You know what I mean? So I've got to somehow try and figure out how I'm going to get it out. It's just tiny screw, so it's going to be difficult. But hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll get it out and then I'll be able to replace it. But if not, I'll have to send the motor off to them and they'll have to take it out because I'm not going to damage a motor because it's like another 160 quid for the motor package, and I'm not paying 160 quid. You know what I mean? No chance, mate. So
that's an interesting.
I'm going to.
About fish price. I mean, I haven't bought any fish recently, but I mean, I don't really know.
No, I've not bought anything recently either, so I couldn't comment on that. To be fair,
is it the tangs? Is it the tangs that are pushing the price up? I don't know.
Tangs, yellow tangs are crazy prices, mate. They're stupid prices, aren't they?
To be fair, the price of everything's went up just now, hasn't it? I mean, every single thing, building materials, the whole lot's went up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it, mate. It's what they are. Blackpool's put a fillet mignon cooked with rare Stilton cheese sauce. I'm not that rich. I'm not that rich. I have rump steak, mate. So listen, I'm from Manchester, here, Paul. You know what I mean? Fillet mignon. What the hell's that about? Yes. That's like the tiny pieces in it, where it's like that. No, can't afford that. No chance.
He's got good taste.
Especially after paying £200 for my KH keeper. You know what I mean? I can't afford a fillet mignon no more. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So what's happening with the nano tank, Steve? Yeah, nano tank's all looking well, mate. I'm gonna be hopefully upgrading that in the not too distant future. Now I was gonna go second hand, and then I thought if I go second hand, I'm always wary whether something's gonna happen. I know you see them and you go, but if it's not filled up, and you look and you go and view something, it might look perfect. But then I think, what happens if when I get it home and I fill it up, it starts to leak? So I'm gonna go with a new one, but I'm gonna wait because the prices are gonna come down, and we've spoke about it before in the past, haven't we? Like on how prices tanks have gone up. Jay, you said you paid what was it, 500 and odd for your tank?
So I paid 500, and now they're 650, aren't they? Because of changes to the EU rules and stuff. Yeah,
that's just insane, isn't it? You know, for the price. But I'd need the stand as well, you see. So it's you're looking like into the £800 mark.
Yeah,
you know
it's 800, yeah. Oh, you're thinking about one of these? Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of getting one of them because it's going to go in the same corner in the kitchen, so I can't have anything too big. The maximum it's got to be is like 100 litres, 120 litres most. I can't go any more than that. You know what I mean? So
get a water box, Steve. Do it. Get a water box. Get a water box.
Oh, the water box, mate. Listen, I love water boxes. I think they're perfect, mate. But I don't know. I'm at a loss of where to go with it. You know what I mean? It's I really just don't know. But everything. I mean, everything's going great, mate. You know, in that tank, it's one of those tanks that sustains itself. You know, like I said before, the all-for-eve, put the 10 mil in daily. Yeah, do a water change every 2 weeks and clean everything out every 2 weeks, and it survives. It does its thing, mate. You know what I mean? There's no problems with it. So I don't really get my hands in it too much. You know what I mean? Now that the fish have stopped jumping out because I've got the net on, it seems to be doing okay. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm really happy with that. I'm really happy with it.
I want to know how your clown's getting on. Obviously, you bought them at separate times, didn't you? But you tried to pair.
Brilliant, mate. Definitely paired now, mate. Yeah, definitely paired. Right up together. What they're doing the old shaking next to each other and all that.
Yeah, the first time they do that, it's quite worrying. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
Well, it's just thingy, innit? You know, it's like a certain dominance in it. So obviously the larger one is taking over as the female. So you know what I mean? It's they're doing that. That's for sure. So yeah, But you know what the good thing is? They've got like their own little community in there now. They've got like their little Goulber. He does his thing, stays in his rock. The other two come along. Then the Goulber, even though they're placid, when I start feeding them, I tell you what, he's a right little snapper, mate. He'll come out and he'll have a go at the fish. They've got their own little community in there. So I'm not going to add any more fish into there. You know what I mean?
Someone talked about that, didn't they, with the aquascape, making sure that you had plenty of spaces for the fish to hide. I can't remember who that was. Yeah. That's so important because they have, like you say, they have their own little patch. No one's allowed on it. No one's allowed in the patch without a bit of aggression. But they all like just mutually agree, right? This is my area now. Stay out of it, don't they?
Yeah.
You know what? It's like it in any sort of like in animals, isn't it? You know, like with lions, they've got their territory and you go in their territory, you're gonna get beaten, aren't you? That's what it is, isn't it? It's the same with any same with fish. You know what I mean? You come into my patch, you're gonna get a battering. That's it. That's the way it is. So
the thing with like your livestock though, it's not so much how much water you've got, probably. It's how much like space you've got for another one to inhabit.
It's a hiding point. That, like you said before, it's all about how many, you know, like how many caves you've got in there, how many crevices you've got for them to hide. You know what I mean? That's what it's about, mate. It's because then they can. It's like my yellow tank. Remember when I had the green plate and it was at the bottom, that used to live underneath there at the night time. Used to sleep under the green plate. But then when I thought I had like those bugs on it, I had to take it out and then addict it. So basically, I was taking his home away from him because he was like, where do I sleep now? You know what I mean? Now he goes and sleeps near the clownfish. Now he's like next to the clownfish, like sleeping next to it.
That's his new place.
Yeah, that's his new place. It's like they've got their own little community. You know what I mean? But
creatures of habit. They just go to the same spot all the time, don't they? Like us all. They don't like change. Do they? They don't like change. I think it's fascinating to watch. What are you laughing at?
Blackpool's Reefs is on fire tonight. He's on fire tonight. He said just pay for everyone in the KH Keeper Fabrication Factory to go and get themselves their own very salad ironing board.
Yours is definitely on the ship from China again. Yours is definitely 5 weeks. That's a trip from China. That is.
I've had to do it, mate. I've had to do it. It broke me heart, you know, doing it. And not only that, though, mate. Yeah, pardon my language. It pissed me off. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what it did. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's about. I mean, it's all very well and good, you know, people saying, oh, you know, it's teething problems, and this, that, and the other, and it could be this and it could be that. Yeah, when you're putting out a product that's worth 600 quid, yeah, it should be right. It should be right regardless, mate. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. If it's £100 or £50 or £60, then you can say, you know what? Listen, it was a piece of, you know what, doo-doo, yeah, and you pay for what you get. But when you pay £600 for the product, you think it's going to be right, mate. You think it's going to work. You know
I really hope this new one's right. I really do. I hope it works like a dream. And
listen, the hammer is on the side, mate. Trust me, it's ready and waiting. If that thing doesn't work, mate, it's getting smashed. I tell you, I'm going to do it live on TV.
I mean, in my kitchen, I've got like knives and forks. You've got hammer in yours, jeez.
Hammers, iron boards, a lot.
Toffee hammer.
I tell you, mate. If this doesn't go right, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know really. It's weird because you know what? When I test my tank, so I'll basically do a test, yeah. So I'll do a manual test with the KH Keeper. And then I'll do a test with the Hannah Checker, and then I'll do a test with the Salifert test kit as well, yeah? The Salifert and the Hannah Checkers come near enough identical, yeah? So I've reduced my alkaline in now, like I said before, yeah? I've reduced it now, so now it's running about 9.5 to 9.8, give or take, you know what I mean, yeah? That's what I'm running it at, yeah? So when I do it on the Hannah and the Salifert was coming in at like 9.2, 9.3. And the Hannah Checker was coming in bang on 9.5 all the time, every time I tested it, yeah. And yet on the KH Keeper, it was saying it was 12.2 and 11.8, and I'm like, what the? Like,
you know, with
you know what I mean? I'm at a loss. It's like out by 1 DKH, it's out by 2 DKH. Yeah. This, you know what I mean? So this is what's confusing her and peeing me off with it all. You know what I mean? Is like, for £600, it shouldn't be out by 2 DKH. That's for sure. Do you know what I mean?
No.
There's no way it should be out.
Especially not compared to a £10 test kit that's bang on with a Hannah as well. You know, if you can spend £10 on a test kit, then £600 you expect to be right.
Exactly. So
I
you know
reckon
what?
You should test every day with the Salafert and stop being lazy.
You know what, Jay?
It's one of these automated reefers, Ross. You just do your water change. That's it, mate. Keep it.
You know what?
He's got robots and ironing boards and the lot doing all his work for him.
Listen. This for this hobby, for the hobby like this is what I always look at it, and I've said it before, is like I just want to do very little to my tank, but I want to enjoy it. That's what I want to do, So I want to enjoy my tank.
Too much, do you lose the hobby?
No, I want to enjoy my tank, and I want to come home from work, I want to enjoy it, sit down, look at it, enjoy it, feed the fish. That's all I want to do. I don't want to be like messing about, like, and I clean the glass, I clean the glass, Now, if we had a machine which would automatically go along with that and clean it, it's quite possible. It's quite possible I might get one of them, but at this moment in time, I will just scrape it. I'll scrape the glass.
Aqua Hoover or something.
In fact, you know what?
Not get the fun out of doing the water change and doing the water testing and just doing jobs on it. Do you not get the enjoyment out of that? No. I find that part of the hobby.
Why would? Listen, when you get a bigger tank, Jay, I'll ask you the same question.
I'll ask you. I've only been doing it 8 months. I enjoy the maintenance stuff.
Listen, you've got a little square box, mate, and it's like dead easy. It's like boom, boom, when it's done, When you have like a 350 litre or 400 litre tank,
mate, I won't be as lazy as you. Don't worry.
Hey. You know what? I'm going to come back to this point in a year. I'm going to save this video in a year's time. I'm going to rerun it. We can rerun it.
Everything. First thing will be that water change kit. You know that the water changer that's local.
Oh yeah, what Reef Dog's got.
That's it. Yeah, that's where I'll start there, and then everything, mate, will be all automated.
Steve, I'm just going to back you up here, mate, and ask if you've got a camera to watch your tank.
I haven't, mate. No.
Yeah.
Hey, at least I've not got a camera watching my tank, mate. Come on now. Come on now.
You know what? You take the mic, right? That was ace. It's awesome. You're on holiday. There it is, look. You're on holiday. You can just tune in and watch your own TV.
Listen, Jay, when I'm on holiday, sitting back, in my boxers, drinking a pina colada, I do not want to be watching my tank. You know what I mean, mate? I want to be like chilled. I want to be like just relaxing and enjoying my thing. I can see you. You're going to be like sat on a beach. You're going to be like looking at your tank. Look at that. Showing everyone look at me gold torch there.
Mate, your tank's that automated. You don't even need to be there anyway, so you're all right, aren't you? Yours is set up for holidays.
I might invent like one of those, an automatic glass cleaning scraper, that's wireless, and you can connect to your mobile phone, mate. How about that? That'd be perfect.
There's a patent on that. There's a patent
on that, mate. I've got to look into that. That's for sure. No, but like I said, mate,
the maintenance bit is a bit of the hobby. I mean, what do you think, Ross? Do you enjoy doing all the care?
So, truthfully on that, I really do actually, but like Steve says, I've got a small tank, so when I go to a bigger tank and you're not doing a 10 litre water change, which is 20%, you're doing 100 litre water changes and 200 litre water changes and so on, that's when I think I'll be like, nah, this is not enjoyable anymore. Whereas just now, like you say, 20 minutes was your water change, your glass clean, your filter done, everything's done and you're away again. So while I enjoy it just now, I think Steve's right. When it gets to a bigger tank, then I'll probably not like it as much.
Yeah. And when you've got a tank, not only you've not just got one tank, you've got two tanks, because you've got your main display and then you've got your sump underneath. So then you think, you know what? I've got to clean the tank. I've got to clean the main display. So you might do your vacuum, you might do your glass scraping, you might do whatever you want to do, your shaping of your rocks and stuff. But then when you got then you go down into the sump and you go, right, I better clean all that detritus out the sump, and I've got to take all my skimming out. I've got to take all this out of the return pump. And mate, trust me, that's the only thing really that is a pain. But I only do it like once every 3 months, cleaning them out, so it's not an issue. You know what I mean? That it's not really that bad, but yeah, if I didn't have to do anything, I wouldn't. You know what I mean? I'd just like to sit there and enjoy my tank. That's what I'd just like to sit there.
I do that as well, and I've got a camera, so I can enjoy it even when I'm not in the house. It's ideal. You see that about the steak hammer? Someone said your hammer's for tenderising your meat because your meat's so tough up north. You see that? or UK reefer.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, that's it. Because you eat rump steak, you have to hit it with the hammer so you can chew it.
Hey, there's not wrong with that, mate. Not wrong with that.
There you go, Mogsy. Look at the comment from NB Reefing down the bottom.
I'm just moving myself now. Where's that? Let's see.
Very last comment.
What's that?
It's what?
Robo snail. No way.
Show me the link, mate. Show me the link, and then I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything then.
Robo snail. Yeah, he likes garlic, by the way.
I've never heard of that one, mate.
You have to feed it garlic, Steve.
The world's first automatic aquarium glass cleaner.
You're joking.
You're joking.
It's there, mate.
Is it?
It is there.
Let me go on it. Let me go on this.
It's
snail.
Is that? It's 100. It's 100 quid. It's 150.
I don't care, mate. Listen, those flipping magnets are $69.99.
150 quid to clean the glass. What is going on there?
Right, I've got to buy one.
Oh my god, it's
Wi-Fi.
Is it Wi-Fi?
Is it Wi-Fi? Robo snail. I've never heard of it, mate.
It's a genuine thing.
Yeah.
So you know, like them little vacuums that dust around your, like, just pick your stuff up.
Yeah, but you know the problem with these things is why haven't I seen these like advertised on like YouTube? You know, like people post up on YouTube and stuff.
Well, that's now.
Do you know what I mean?
On Amazon.
Because you probably need to buy 4 of them. I can't see it going round the corners on the glass, can you?
I'm not being funny, right? It's on Amazon at 147 quid, and it's got 5 stars.
That's not the one I looked at, mate. It looked different the one I've seen.
It's got an app stick. You'll love it. It's got an app stick. You'll love that. Like, he likes that.
Mate, I've got to look into this. I've got to look into this.
You can program it how many laps you want it to do in an hour.
This is not a gimmick, is it? This is not a gimmick, is it?
Yeah, I just went on robosnail.com.
That is insane, mate.
So once you finish with it on the tank, you can put it on your windows outside.
Hey, I can sack my window cleaner. I'll be perfect. Robbing bastard. You're charging me £10 a week.
Anti-fall, heat clean. It's a genuine thing. A week. That is unreal.
I can't believe that.
You know what? Up here, mate.
I'm gonna look into it.
Yeah, robosnail.com. It's there on the website.
Yeah, I'm you know what? I'm going to look at. I'm not saying I'm going to buy it. But you know what?
Camera before you buy snail.
Keep this space open because it might be something I might buy actually, just to see what it's like. You know what I mean? See whether it works. Right?
The camera's better than the snail. I'm telling you.
Nah, I don't know, Jay. I think I'd rather have the snail here, mate.
What does a camera do for your tank?
Think about what it does for my mental well-being.
Yeah, for your mental health, it doesn't do anything for your tank. Yeah, whereas a product like a robo snail, yeah, that goes around and it does a job. It does what it does. You know what I mean? So, you know what? I think
the only way to make your hobby easier is get the LFS to come to you as well. That's the only thing. They just come to your house. You know, you don't have to move them.
Yeah. Listen.
It's a serious thing, though, isn't it? Like the larger your tank and the more experienced you are, the more automation you tend to have on your tank. And I don't know if it just detracts a bit from the hobby because, like us newbies, me and Ross, we like getting our hands wet and.
Yeah. You see, this could be a talking point that you could speak to for ages. Like I know a lot of people who say, you know what, are exactly the same as you. Yeah, they've got big tanks. And they might have, like, say, an Apex on it, you know, an Apex running an Apex on the tank, yeah. But other than that, they don't run anything on it. Whereas me, I've got like the Nero, that's wireless, yeah. I've got the Vortec, I've got the Max Spec, I've got what do you call it, that KH keeper that doesn't work. I've got the Apex that's on it. You know what I mean? But all of this is it's not like showing off, or it's not like
about 10 apps for reefing.
No, it's not like showing off or saying, look, I've got this. All it is it's just for, like, for me, yeah, personally, it, like I said before, is just to enjoy my tank, just to sit there, try and do very little with my tank. If there's something wrong with it, then the Apex will let me know. And then, because I'm not being funny yet, if you've got, like, say, we've got the systems like for our heaters, that it'll switch off. So if the heater gets stuck on, it'll rise and rise, and then it'll get tripped off, But if you just plugged your heater into a normal socket and then it stayed on, it's gonna cook your fish. You know what I mean? So all of these, you know, like if it can help out in the aquarium pop it and it can help and it does a job, then to me it's worth its weight in gold. That's why I put them on. You know what I mean? Nothing other than that, because it helps me. It helps me.
It's personal choice.
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
It shows that you can get to the same place just doing different ways. Like Ross has got a really thriving tank just doing a water change.
Yeah.
Backshift Reefers said that it doesn't go round corners. Yeah. Well, you know what? Really, we only look at the main.
Buy a round tank now.
I buy a jellyfish.
He'll buy a jellyfish tank just so he can have a robo cleaner, robo snail.
Oh, you know what? No. You know what? I'm going to look into it definitely, but
that's the next purchase. There'll be a video next week on the robo snail.
Get the water change before you get that. Get that water change. Bit of kit, that looks good.
I don't do water changes.
Well, no, cut that out of the job as well.
I don't do water changes, mate. Listen,
it's because you're too busy
you know
feeding. He's too busy feeding.
And when you get a bigger tank, Jay, I'll come to you and say to you, do you like doing water changes? And I guarantee you I'm going to play this again, mate. I'll play this video again. Water changes, I hated, mate.
I don't know what your problem is. I've got a 20-litre bucket, mate. It's no issue. 20-litre bucket.
Steve, can you remember one of the very first live streams we've done? Jay done a live demonstration of how to do his water change and his maintenance and so on. We'll wait till he gets his big tank and he'll need to spread it over 3 live streams to show you.
One car wash bucket.
Exactly. yeah. But hey, a 300-litre tank, 30 litre, you're doing a 10-litre, a 10% water change or a 20% water change, which people do. That's 60 litres of water.
You don't do them, you just said.
60 litres of water change, but I know you will do them.
Right, I'll do them. There'll be a truck, a spotless truck that comes every week.
You can't say that word, Jay. That word's banned.
No, I'm not. I'm actually going to get an Aquati. I'm going to get one.
Nice.
In about 2 months.
You'll enjoy it, mate.
Yeah, I'm going to get an Aquati.
Reef King's just been his off, so thanks for joining. I appreciate it, mate. Yeah.
Yeah,
good night, mate.
Awesome. Love your channel, Carl.
Yeah, top guy.
He's doing really well with that peninsula.
Yeah. And the pictures he's posted.
He's ahead of me in like 2 weeks. So
you know,
it looks incredible as well.
This is why I watch you guys. Love realism, mate. Listen, we are as honest as they come. No beating about the bush in this, I'll be, mate. I just tell it as it is. You know what I mean? Because there's too many people. You know what? There's too many people that just bullshit you. Let's be honest, and say do this and do that and blah blah blah, And if it works for me or something works for me or I like something, then I'll tell them. But if it doesn't work or I think or I've never used it or I don't think much of it, then I'll tell you it again. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. You know what I mean? Because it's like I said to you. Remember when I said about that C-chain pump with you, Ross, and you went out and bought it? It was like and it was like a jackhammer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember it well, mate. I remember it well.
It works, mate. For me, it works, but for you, it sounded like a jackhammer in your house. So it just obviously didn't work for you. You know what I mean? But it wasn't the pump. All you got to understand is it wasn't the pump, mate. You know what I mean? It was
plumbing.
It was his plumbing.
It was the plumbing. Yeah, it was the plumbing. That's it, mate.
Yeah.
But
those things, that's what it is.
I reckon we need a competition next week. We haven't done a competition for a couple of weeks, have we? I reckon we need to do a competition. I reckon we're overdue a competition.
Yeah,
Robo Snail's coming up.
Oh, a Robo Snail competition. Well, Jay, if that's what you want to give away, mate, then
I haven't got one. I haven't got a Robo Snail to give away. Robo Snail. No one wants one anyway. No one wants us to do a giveaway for a Robo Snail. Surely, no chance. What's that? Hey, I've kept my hands out of it for. I've been doing pretty well. Oh my! I just realised what that said then.
Yeah.
It's past 9 o'clock. We can get away with that. We're all right.
Yeah, Jordan Duffield's put exactly the same. What I was saying, like about his Apex, he just uses it an extra fail-safe. I mean, this is it.
Yeah.
Like I run 2 heaters in my tank, so I run like the 2 300-watt heaters, so the major overkill, in my tank. But basically, I've got one plugged into the D&D, controller, and then the other one plugged into the Apex. So if God forbid one does fail, then at least I've got it on the Apex, and the Apex then is programmed to the same temperatures as what it is onto things, so there were no fluctuations in it. You know what I mean? Whereas if you just had the one heater, then if that failed and it went off completely or whatever, then you've got no backup. So for me, it's just like I said before, that's the reason why I buy these products, is just as a fail safe. You know what I mean? Just to keep on top, just to make sure that if something does go wrong, then it can be sorted. You know what I mean?
And I've got a D&D titanium as a backup as well. It's the only bit of kit that I've got as a backup. What is there anything else that you think you should always have as a backup piece of kit apart from a heater? Some people say return pump, don't they, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean, have you got a backup return pump?
No. But that to be truthful, you know what I was thinking about this actually. Hey,
I just said to Ross, have you got a backup pump? And I just remembered he has, hasn't he?
Well, I've got the CT and I've got the other one. Because remember, actually, I got another one replacement from Waterbox.
Listen,
so I've got 3 now.
I'm telling you, if his pump stopped working in his main display, he is putting that jackhammer back on it, mate. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
The story
you would. Rather than not having a return pump, you put it back on.
Yeah,
it'll do it. It does the job, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like you said, it was just a bit loud. You know what I mean?
So return pump and a heater bar, they're the kind of spares that you need.
Yeah, I would have thought so. I mean,
I've got the little heater that's in my quarantine tank, so I could whip that out at some point and put it in there if need be. That's kind of the thing that I go with.
Yeah.
Robo snail for each side of the tank. Woo!
Yeah.
What? 150 quid? What the hell? Is he rich? Does he want to sponsor me? He can sponsor me.
Yeah.
Steve, I don't know if you've caught up with the comments or not, but there's one there from Signature Frags that you should probably put up.
I'm down at the bottom. Oh, there.
Right. There you go.
I'll give you a giveaway, guys. Hey.
Oh, awesome.
You know what? That would be fantastic. Signature Frags.
There we go.
I'm sure everybody in this live stream would definitely be into that, and I'm going to be in it as well. That's for sure, definitely.
Hey, that'll be a coral, and if it's anything,
that would be fantastic, mate.
Oh my goodness,
that's massive. Yeah, that would be brilliant.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
mate.
brilliant. Yeah. Definitely.
We love a coral, don't we, in this group?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Just watch the YouTube on the Robo Snail. Looks full there, and I think you'll have to attach a base unit.
Oh my god! I don't think this Robo Snail is a goer really. Yeah. It seems a bit. It doesn't like corners. You need to reinforce the basic. No, it's no go, is it? This sounds worse than that KH keeper that you've got.
Yeah, you know what? I've changed my mind. I'm not going to do it. I'm not even going to look into it now. That's just put me right off. That has.
You make your own.
I'm just
that's what you were doing.
Hey?
You're patterning your own, weren't you? You're going to make your own one.
Yeah. You know what? Flipping it. The bulky thing. Nowadays, you can make thin. I bet you can make a thin cleaner, glass cleaner. No doubt. No doubt about it, mate.
I'll go wrong with the flipper, though. The flippers. I like the flipper.
Yeah.
You noticed I never have it in the tank after that. After that live stream, I never leave it in there anymore.
Mine's in my tank, mate.
You shouldn't have your flipper in there, apparently. You shouldn't leave it in.
Never take it out. Listen, past 3 years, I've never took it out of the tank, mate, ever. My main one, I've never took it out. Stainless steel, isn't it? The thing's stainless steel, the blade, so it shouldn't rust. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So
Brighton can't even test that water. There's that many metals in it.
Come on, guys. There's 45 of you in the stream, and Michael Butler said there's only 24 likes. Click on the like.
Oh, Michael, thank you.
Yeah, Give us a like if you enjoyed it. Yeah,
if you can.
that'd be
It all
great.
helps. It all helps Steve's channel.
Absolutely. Listen, I'm miles behind. I'm miles behind the guys on my channel. So
yeah, give him a thumbs up, guys.
And if you've not subscribed to Steve, then go and subscribe to Steve's channel.
Yeah, that would be. I'd really appreciate that. That's for sure.
Well, you'll get the Robo Snail video next week.
Yeah, and if it's crap, it's a giveaway.
I thought you were giving away a cage keeper, Mogsy.
If it. Robo Snail's crab. You can give the shell to Ross's crab. That'll do. Ross's crab will deal with it.
Do you know what? I wouldn't want to give my crab away because if I had to post it, it would end up stiffening the postman.
You can't. That is brilliant, but I don't think you could do that, can you?
If somebody wants to come and collect it, then I'll give it away, no problem.
If you live in the Outer Hebrides and you want a crab, get in touch with Ross.
Sammy B's put in, I'll be buying from you this weekend, signature frag. So you've got a
He's got an offer on at the moment. It's 3 for 2. He's got an offer on. If you got.
You know what? I'm gonna go over to it and I'm gonna see any. So I know he has some special corals in, that's for sure. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna head over either tonight or tomorrow and see whether I can treat myself to something. You know what I mean? Something really nice, something special. That's for sure. But you've got my word. I'm going to be doing that signature frag. So keep an eye out. I'm just looking down before we've gone 2 hours and 1 minute. Time flies when you're having fun. So I'm just gonna do a couple more, if you don't mind, lads. And
well done, Moxie. You've run a really tight ship again this evening.
Appreciate that, mate. Yeah.
Appreciate
I'm usually getting trouble from Julie. Usually gives us a row at this point.
You are.
Julie usually gives us a row at this point and tells us we're out of time, so she's obviously not noticed yet.
Yeah,
drink
absolutely.
up, gents. Drink up.
Yes.
It's going to be a hot one tomorrow, so plenty of reefing then the sun, I think.
And I'm working, mate. Working till 9 tomorrow. Working till 9.
So you got all day then.
What? I start at 11. No, I'm working till 9 p.m. Yeah, working till 9 p.m.
I thought you meant 9 a.m. I thought you got all the day.
No. Right, so Julie's going. So yeah. So like I said, guys, thanks for joining in tonight. I really appreciate it. Like I said, apologies for last weekend, but Ross did a great job. Like I knew he would anyway. So yeah, massive shout out to Ross for stepping up and appreciate it, mate. But thanks for watching and signature. I really appreciate the free giveaway as well, mate. And definitely watch out for my my order because I'm going to be definitely coming over to you and getting a couple of pieces, that's for sure. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and joining in. And whose channel is it on next week, guys? Do we know?
It's on Paul's next week, mate.
Paul's, right? Yeah. So same time next week, guys. Paul's live stream. Same time, the usual scripts, 8 p.m. And yeah, come over and join us on Paul's YouTube channel. So we'll see you then. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and have a good weekend. Cheers.
Thanks very much, guys. Cheers.
Thank you. Have a good one.